call, every move, every hit, every check. If you want the truth, opinions, and fire, welcome to the winner circle.
Good morning and welcome to Workhorse Wrestling Network. You are gathered with us for the Winner's Circle. It is Saturday morning, May 2nd, bright and early, about 7:15 over here on the West Coast, 10:15 a.m. over there on the East Coast, where our Anarchy Queen, Miss Anika, resides out there in sunny Florida. How is it over there this morning?
It's cloudy, but that's a good
It's
thing
cloudy.
because that means it's not hot.
That
So
means it's
yes,
not hot.
I will take that win. I will take that win.
We'll take that win. Let's see. As we always do on Winner's Circle, we're going to be talking Collision from last Saturday and Dynamite from last Wednesday. Before we do that, if you're new to the Workhorse Wrestling Network YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button on this video. It helps a lot. Hit that little bell. That bell's the best way to make sure you get notified every time we're about to put something up on the YouTube channel. And if you're with us on Twitch, we appreciate you over there. Give us a follow over there. Anybody that's here with us, chime in the chat. Let us know what you want to talk about, AEW wise, wrestling wise. And Nika will happily talk WWE with you if you want to. If you just want to talk about anything else life related, we're happy to talk about that as well. Just happy to hear from you guys. So, let's see. I did notice, and I know I'm not watching WWE, and I don't pay attention, but I did see a highlight pop up on my phone because I still do get like news highlights. I think it was from maybe Fightful, and I swear it said that Ricky Saints makes his SmackDown debut. Is that correct?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did last night. And if you want to replay that, go watch WWE Friday Night. Sorry, Workhorse Wrestling Network Friday Night Fights to see it. And it is the first segment, so it's no like old words. It's the first segment with Cody Rhodes. So yeah, he came out. It was awesome. He was Ricky Starks, but with Saints in the end of his name. Um, and out the gate, he had a match with Cody. Now it wasn't for the title, so it's like I ain't gonna say throwaway, but like they're definitely not going to run it back anytime soon because Gunther is now attacking Cody. It's fine by me, but it is like, you already been here. Thank you very much. This is 50 Cent's time. I don't got time for you, Gunther. But no, it was really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Ricky Starks fan, Ricky Saints fan, whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, I'm excited for him. I'm happy for him. I mean, I wish that he was still in AEW. I wish that I was able to watch him since I'm not watching WWE. But I'm just happy that, if he's over there, he's getting what hopefully he wanted from going over there. Let's put it that way. So,
Hmm.
I know he was in
Yeah.
NXT for a while, longer than I thought he was going to be. But hey, I guess he's up in the main roster now, and that's all that matters. So, let's see.
Along
Okay.
with I'm also happy that Will Hobbs is over on SmackDown, so I'm hoping for a team tab reunion. That's me personally. I'm like, just
There
one
you go.
time for the good boy.
And Oba's up on the main roster now, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I
They
know, I
did
know,
the
I
job.
know you won at WrestleMania, right? So he
Yes.
destroyed Brock at WrestleMania. I assume that he was already up on the main roster, or was that his like welcome to the main roster type thing? Or
So he came. I want okay. Trying to get it right. I want to say he came at Royal Rumble. He did a couple of squash matches, and then officially, yeah, went against Brock. And it's just like, and now it's the Oba challenge because
okay,
at WrestleMania, Roman called out Oba. So we're all, well, not called out, but he mentioned Oba. So we're all assuming that that match gonna be on SummerSlam. But everyone else is not free. So like I said, right now we're buying our time until August 30th, basically.
okay. Yes, that makes some sense. I like Oba too, so I'm happy for him as well. And I hate Brock Lesnar, so anytime Brock Lesnar gets beat, and hopefully he does stay retired. Okay, enough WWE. So on to why we are here. We are here to talk AEW, All Elite Wrestling, as we work towards Double or Nothing at the end of May. All this stuff is building up towards that. We had Collision this last Saturday night. last Saturday night, April 25th. They were calling it Playoff Palooza Collision because it does
Playoff
coincide
Palooza.
with the NBA playoffs, which have been going on. If people have been watching that, my Lakers have advanced. It was tougher than I was hoping, of course, but uh,
Woo!
next round.
Y'all let them crack. Them was no crackheads come back, bro. It's like, oh wait, hold up,
We,
time
we,
out.
we, we got to play way better against the Oklahoma City Thunder next round if we want any chance to win because they are a very good basketball team. But
Yes,
let's see. So, Collision opened with the conglomeration. It was Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong was talking about his shirt that Orange Cassidy got him. They all have shirts with their own faces on them, blah, blah, blah. And they're talking about how they're fired up to defend the trios champions, but of course they get interrupted by FTR and Stokely. Stokely says that they've got something important to say to Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. He doesn't understand why the conglomeration is in such a rush to just get in the ring and lose to Lance Archer, Hechicero, and Andrade. And
disrespectful,
he
very
basically
disrespectful.
sticks his finger in each one of their chests and kind of, tries to intimidate them a little bit before FTR and Stokely make their way to the ring to talk about Cope and Cage. So before we get to them in the ring, what about the conglomeration and FTR? And I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about here, but anything you want to say about it? The little opening segment.
Um, First things first, I wasn't a fan of the dogs losing to them so fast, but as a conglomeration, they are a good time. So not sure how the friend's gonna go, but I'm here. I'm here for it.
Yeah, and I'm happy. I'm over the. I'm glad that we're done with the hemming and hawing of Roderick Strong, whether he's a member of the conglomeration or not. Just
Yeah,
do it. That lasted too long. I'm glad that we finally have a decision. He's an active member. Let's just. So yeah, and it is what it is. The three men are good. They're solid wrestlers. So I love Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Orange Cassidy can go. I'm just not a big fan of his shtick, but it is what it is. I like the conglomeration as a whole. I miss Mark Briscoe. And we haven't had Ishii over here in a minute, so it's really just been these three holding it down. But
yeah.
let's so Dax and Cash and Stokely make their way to the ring to talk some shit about Adam Copeland and Christian Cage.
Disrespectful, highly
Cash
disrespectful.
says that the Cope challenge is interesting, um, and that bringing anything to the to the table was enticing, and that they like the stipulation that if they win, Cope and Cage can't team anymore. Um, then Cash says he doesn't want to drag it out. He's going to accept their challenge for Double or Nothing, which is an I Quit match. I guess we were already in a street fight, but now it's going to be a street fight with an I Quit stipulation. That's okay. So we're getting an I Quit match. They accept basically. Let's
How
see
you
what
win
else. I'm
changes.
trying to. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't really think there wasn't much else that was much. They basically just accepted the match and talked a little shit. So, I mean, I'm trying to remember if there was any like quotes that I thought really stood out. There weren't any. I mean, this is just kind of classic FTR doing their thing. Cash accepted the match, and then Dax talked a little shit. Anything you want to say about FTR and them in the ring, accepting the Kofi
Um,
Cage I Quit challenge?
yeah, definitely a TR and Stokely together. Of course, they're going to accept this challenge. Jackson's like, listen, we thought you were going to give us more to accept this, but you just laid it on thick as butter with putting your careers on the line. And so, um, yeah, no. So segment wise, loved it. Every time FTR and Stokely are in the ring, great. I'm more so pondering of the I quit stipulation, where it's like some people are like, well, them winning in Canada is so predictable, and I'm like, well, okay, in my mind, them putting their careers on the line is kind of predictable too. 'Cause in my mind, like, is TK really gonna let Adam Copeland and Christian retire with not being tag team champions. I do not think so. So that part, I'm gonna say a giveaway, but kind of a giveaway for me. That's just my take on the stipulation. But overall, the segment was cool.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I think that there's, FTR is a money draw and they fill seats, as do the Young Bucks. I mean, there's no question that the nostalgia of Christian Cage and Adam Copeland
I
is a huge deal. And if you don't put the titles on them at least one time for a minute, you're missing the whole boat of the whole thing and bringing them back together. So you got to do
yeah,
it at some point. And since you didn't do it already in Canada, you've got to do it in this next spot because they're only going to run this match so many times. So this next time they have to win. And with the stipulation on the line of them not ever tagging together again, and I guess ultimately having to retire, I suppose. I thought it was just not tagging together, but maybe it's having to retire. Either way, whatever the case may be, those stipulations, very rarely do I feel like those stipulations ever actually pay off for the person to have to do what they, you know what I mean? Like when those are on the line,
yeah,
they always win. So I have no doubt that this is probably going to be where Adam Copeland and Christian get the win at Double or Nothing. So,
most
which is fine
definitely.
with me. I mean, I'm happy to see them as champions again. I mean, they're that's nostalgic for me. Obviously, Edge and Christian were a huge part of watching WWE for me. I went to the first TLC match that was a pay per view here in Portland. So I mean, that
Shut
was a lot of
up, you
yeah.
punk!
So with the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys. So yeah, I mean that was amazing. And so I mean, they hold a special fondness in my heart. So I mean, I'm here for that. And I think them versus FTR is fun. So I just hope that they actually pull the trigger and put the belts. That he puts the belts on them. So I can't imagine that they don't. If he does, if he doesn't, it's a huge booking mistake. You don't have to leave it on them for a long time, but they need it for a minute. So
Most
then we
definitely.
get the trios champions, the conglomeration who we saw earlier in the ring against the Don Callis family, Lance Archer, CMLL World Champion Hechicero, and Andrade El Idolo. And a solid match. I mean, all these guys can really wrestle. Lance Archer is a huge guy that can throw guys around, which he definitely did. He threw Orange Cassidy around a little bit. He can beat up on Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly and look good, but all these men can really wrestle. So the match itself was very solid, good action, lots of back and forth action. A 6-man tag match is always fun. The trios
Yeah.
champions did retain. The conglomeration did win. Um, I mean, I enjoyed this. I thought this was fine for what it was. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's again multi-man match. Sometimes, again, my feelings on those have been made clear. Sometimes you have trouble kind of following what's going on. A lot going on. But I like the trios division, and I like the conglomeration as champions. So, I here I don't think that I didn't think the titles were really in jeopardy. The match itself was solid, but I never really thought that Lance Archer and Hechicero and whatchamacallit and Andrade were going to beat these guys. So it's a little predictable, but it is what it is. What do you think of the match?
This was fun. Like I said, this like if the conglomeration, it will be nothing but a good time. Um, I agree with you only because um Andrade is more of a singles competitor. But Andrade and Lance Archer, if they wanted to fully say, hey, we're done with Andrade being going for the world title, then I'm like, oh, maybe. But unfortunately, he's still in that title picture. Talk about more about when we get to the Dynamite review. But yeah, this was definitely a good like when it comes to multi-men matches, that's all I'm asking for. Like if you want to put a story like, oh, they're focusing on the arm, oh, he's too strong, oh, do your thing. But for me, I'm just asking for a good time. That's all. That's all I'm asking for. This was definitely a good time. It's great to see Lance Archer wrestle. Just like if you weren't here at the beginning of Dynamite, AEW or beginning of AEW, this man was he's still good, but it was more of a focus on him earlier. I'm not sure where, maybe because of injury, but it is like y'all messed up vote on him, man. Because yeah, I love I love Lance Archer, but yeah, Conversion wins, like you said. Didn't really think they were going to lose, but this was fun.
Yeah, I agree. I thought this was a solid segment. Let's see. What was next? Sorry, bear with me for a second here. I lost my notes. I remember. Let's see. I didn't. So this was a little odd for me because I missed Dynamite from the week before. So you
Okay.
might have to help fill in on this. This was the Osprey segment, so it looked like we got
Okay.
some footage. It looked like that. You want to tell us what happened on Dynamite with Claudio and with Osprey? Maybe that'll
So
help fill us in some context first
what
before we.
happened on Dynamite last week? Not this week, but somewhere in August before the 29th. Uh, so it was a match between Osprey versus Mark Davis. On the open. It was a great match. Please go back and watch it. At the end, they had the doctors on the side checking on Osprey's neck because he's clear, but still one false move, something can happen. So we're at the end of the match, and Osprey is I'm not sure how he did it, but Mark Davis hit Osprey's neck and he's outside the ring, right? And so the doctors are checking on him. The doctors are saying no go, no go, and because of referee stoppage, Mark Davis beats Osprey. It's like what the freak, bro? So Mark Davis, just for getting that out of the open with a thing, was about to put more punishment on Osprey. But here comes Marie Shafir on top of the ring apron to stop Mark Davis from doing more damage. And here comes the rest of the Death Riders to help along with the cause. And as they get rid of the Don Callis family for hurting him more, they get Osprey, they drag him out through the arena, and that's the next segment coming up where they put him back into the Death Riders dojo. That's what we call that, Death Riders dojo. Mhm.
Yeah, I guess they stuck him in a chair and then they all stand around him and Moxley starts asking him questions or starts I guess whatever. What are you trying? Or he says, what does he say? He starts with a simple question, Osprey. What is it you're trying to accomplish other than breaking my neck? When you go to the ring, when you get up in the morning, what are you trying to do? Who are you trying to be? What is it you're chasing? I don't think you know the answer to those questions anymore. Almost 7 years ago, I saw you for the first time. The power you yield, the ability you have, but this, your body, flesh, muscle, bone will break eventually. You can try to run through as many brick walls as many times as you want, but the wall's not going anywhere. But if you step back and realize there's a door, you can walk right through it and become whoever you wanted to be on the other side. And Moxley is so weird. Like, I love John, but he's so weird. Just like, yeah, he's right. I mean, all the metaphysical stuff is what it is, and it's, okay. He points to his head and continues, this trained and honed properly, it will not break. You take dominion over your mind, we can turn you into a weapon like professional wrestling has never seen. So clearly he wants Osprey, I guess, to join the Death Riders. I suppose that's ultimately what this
Yes,
is. I don't know. He says we can settle up and you can be just like everybody else, or you can become everything you were meant to be. Your choice. Moxley, I guess John then laid there. They show him face down on the floor, his hands behind his back, and he says, "Go ahead and go for it." Like essentially, you can hit me if you want or whatever. And he doesn't do it, and then the camera shuts off. So, okay, very interesting. I don't. There's probably a lot of meat on the bones with
yes,
Osprey joining the Death Riders. I'm just not sure I like it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what ends up happening because I do think there's a lot of legs there. You can do that in any number of ways. A, heel Osprey would be fun for a little while.
yes.
And B, the Death Riders are what they are. They would recruit another, maybe the second biggest name in AEW behind John Moxley, maybe the biggest name. So that's definitely a coup. I just my problem is that then you really have nobody on the AEW side. I mean, you have the Darby Allens and you have the conglomerations, but like you don't really have anybody. I mean, all the major stars, you got Kenny Omega, I guess, but all the major stars now are heels, right? I mean, all of your major stars, the John Moxley's, if Will Ospreay becomes a heel, is now a heel. If we've got MJF who's a major heel, there's not enough major faces to have enough like back and forth with the heels and the faces in the main event picture. So in that regard, I would like to see Osprey stay a face. But I'm also, I mean, Osprey as a heel would be fun too. And with the Death Riders, there's a lot of legs there. So I could see potentially what I think might be a good story is like a fake acceptance. So Osprey says, sure, I'll join, but just to kind of destroy them from the inside and never really be on their team, like so division from the very beginning, like come in and start, I don't know how you do it, but start pitting them against each other somehow and just kind of fuck with the Death Riders from the inside and ultimately try to destroy them from the inside and making it look like, like an undercover mission type of situation. What do you think about all this and Osprey and the Death Riders?
So I love this. I love this a lot. I am a Moxley fan. I'm so glad that he's here. Could he take a break? He could, but he don't want to. So let's just have a good old time with it. All right. Now with this, now side note, I'm not sure if you watched the Dynamite before the one we're about to discuss, but after he gets like this is bad editing. Because after Osprey gets taken, they immediately go to an interview with Alex Windsor, and she's just like, I'm dealing with the triangle of madness. I need a part outlet. Yo, man just got kidnapped, and you worried about some other group. Yo, man, we don't know where they're taking your dough. That was like, now it was a backstage segment. Like I said, it's editing. It's just like, hey, if you're gonna do this, either do it before he gets hemmed up, or maybe wait after we find out he's okay. But don't do it right after he gets hemmed up, and we all know that is your woman. That's hilarious. But so yeah, Osprey in the difference. I don't think. Okay, so I have to tell you, it's all in my mind. Oh, we are fans of True Hill Heat, and the Thursday review has Jimmy Macaram, and Jimmy Macaram is definitely not happy about this. Talking about this is. He's like, why does Osprey, the greatest wrestler of all time, has to ask Moxley to be a better wrestler? He did some comparison. Please go back and watch it. I'm not. I don't know who it is. I'm not repeating it, but it was so. It was so like, bruh, the distance is not that far. Come on, man. Come on. But like you said, but with you, I'm gonna agree with you. When Osprey came, and it was straight up because he hated Omega, and he was just straight up like I remember not Forbidden Door, but it was, I want to say, Kenny versus Omega 3. And he came in from the back, and he was just hitting, blatant Kenny Omega all through the freaking while his music was playing. I would like to see that man back. That's just me, but I would like to see that man back just for a little bit. That would be very much so hilarious. That would be much so entertaining for me. I Using Moxley is one thing, but I do think we need some direction on where Osprey is going, because it does feel like he was on the road to being champion, and somehow we got off that road for whatever reason. I know he needed surgery, but even before he needed surgery, it was just like, what are we doing? You and Swerve are friends, and that's a tag team thing, and we're fighting the Young Bucks. Like it was like you're gonna say all over the place with Osprey, but it was definitely okay. He's here to be champion. I think we all can agree, right? So, depending, like not if you don't, how we get there is a preference, but using Moxley to just get back like you said, not wrestling wise, but just to, like you said, see, if you get, I just put two and two together. Because Moxley didn't say be a better wrestler. He said get your mind right in that ring. So this is not about oh, I'm better wrestler. No, get your mind right, homie. Let's straighten up. Let's go back to basics of why you here. Are you just trying to wrestle? You can do that, or are you trying to be champion, man? And so I love that mentality of yes, let's get back to the main thing. And the main thing is Osprey needs to be freaking champion.
Yeah, I agree with all that. Obviously, that segment leads into the next match of the night, which was the Death Riders and the Dogs, Daniel Garcia, Claudio, and Wheeler, with David Finlay and Clark Connors versus the Young Bucks and the Rascals in a 10-man tag match. Uh, as you know how I feel about these matches, too much going on, especially with a lot of these guys because the Bucks and the Rascals, both of which are big spot fest guys, like
Mhm.
they're so it's it is what it is. It makes it fun. Don't get me wrong. I love the Bucks. I think one of the things that's great about the Bucks is that they're so exciting, right? Everything they do feels big, right? But at the same time, it's that's what you get, right? You get like it is just a big spot fest. And the match itself, you get that back, but it was good back and forth. The Death Riders did get the win. Let's see, Finley, um, Wentz takes the pin after Connors comes off the top rope with the fallout. Um, David Finley, the Dogs look good. I'm happy to see the Dogs here. Um, I love David Finley. I like Clark Connors. I like Gabe Kidd. I'm here. Driller Maloney's probably my least favorite, but I like him as well. Here for all of them. Um, this was a fun match. Too many people, too much to try to pay attention to, too many spots, too much choreographed stuff, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. And the Death Riders got the win. What do you think about this?
Again, the theme of the day is basically house party matches, and I'm here for all of this. I am more so here for the dogs getting a win and basking in the win for more than a second. Okay, everyone's like, "Bruh, what are we doing? What is the main thing with the dogs?" Like, as someone who likes them, and we all and there's like if you please again go to their socials, go to their interviews. They're a hilarious group, honestly. So it really is like there's so much meat on the bone from these guys, and y'all are just I'm not sure they're stalling or what, but it is like just take the limits off. Let's go. But yeah, this was like so I had fun with this match as well. The Rascals are just the Rascals. Again, when it comes to trios and tag, so FTR are champions, right? Tag champions. So I get while that should be a prominent reign, it should a hot potato. But for the trios title, I can see them being mid 2000s hot potatoing the trios titles. Right as of right now, you do have a couple of staples that can go for it. It is not it is don't suck, it sucks. Get some agony with Ricochet. Three of them in here, Death Riders. We call it the Young Bucks. Just about you get anybody to pair with them, it'd be fine. And then you have we call it. Then you have the dogs. So it is like I would love if y'all would just treat the trios titles as mid card tag team titles and hot potato that thing. Like let's just go balls to the wall and have fun matches on freaking television. But yeah, this was great. I'm very happy the dogs won. Daniel Garcia celebrated. Daniel Garcia celebrated at the end. I'm like, sir, well, I'm like, when the last time you won? Because it feels like this is your debut match. You just really hyped for this win. If it's been a minute since you won, I can understand. But it's like, sir, you're a death card. Calm the frick down. That's what I'm. You're a death card. Calm the frick down. Yes, it's a win, but calm it down. But yeah, it was good.
This match for me feels kind of like a microcosm of an issue that I have with AEW. I don't just want to be crying because I W, but I feel like it
Hmm.
sometimes it has a crisis of conscience. Like it's not always sure who's a heel, who's a face. It's not. I mean, I thought the Rascals were heels, but here they are with the Bucks, who are now faces, and they've had this issue with the death. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like the Rascals have been heelish in their comeback. They've wrestled some what I would call face teams, and return or in their arrival, but yet here they're matched with the Bucks that have definitely turned face recently after all their other stuff because they're back with all their exciting tie-dye gear, which is their face gear. So the whole thing is weird. Like I don't know. Like I feel like AEW tries to do this thing, and I feel like they did it with Moxley a little bit too, where like guys, and I get it, like life is gray, right? Not everyone is just black and white. You're not just good and bad. And Moxley's a perfect example of I think what AEW is trying to do, what Tony wants to do, which is kind of present these guys as more authentic people and kind of tweeners. Like at moments they're faces, at moments they're heels. Like sometimes Moxley acts like a good guy, sometimes Moxley acts like a bad guy. Like we're all kind of,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it makes it hard to know always who to really root for. And I'm not saying that you have to root for the heel or the face, and I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying like sometimes it's hard to know who the underdog is. And I guess I'm not totally sure who. I guess it's the Bucks here, but like it's just weird. Like I don't know. The whole thing was kind of odd to me, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Sheeta
Yeah, look,
wants to take the World Tag Team titles from Divine Dominion, and she wants to do that with Chris Statlander. Statlander is backstage with Sheeta and Harley Cameron and Mina Shirakawa. Lexi Nair is there. And basically, that's what Sheeta says. Mina Shirakawa says, don't trust her. Sheeta, I guess, has been saying some stuff in Japanese that Mina understands, but nobody else can. And Mina says the things she has been saying have not been nice or pleasant, and that they shouldn't trust Statlander. What do you think about this little, these four interacting this way, what's going on with Sheeta and so on?
first things first. Hi, Harley. It's been a minute. We've missed you. Ah, we missed you. Don't let them tell you different. We've missed you, my darling. Um, so this whole what's the word? This whole thing with Sheeta and Statlander, I'm not sure what's going on here, to be totally honest. But it really is like, okay, we need women's tag so we're not doing anything with Statlander, put her in a tag team. Okay, cool. Who we got? We got Sheeta. Put her Sheeta. Okay, fine. But Sheeta is acting really heelish, and it is like, but why? Like, like, are you like what's the game plan here? Are you like what? Why go against Statlander and y'all just paired up? You know what I'm saying? So it is like, what's the like? I don't need a story, but since you're gonna put all this out, since you're gonna put this out here, I do need a direction of where we're going. So I'll just say that we're just like yeah, Sheeta is telling others that Statler's not can't be trusted, but you're teaming with her. So it's like, huh? And yeah, y'all just got together. So yeah, it a very weird segment of where the frick are we doing right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. The whole thing is odd to me, but I guess we'll see what ends up happening. That leads to Chris Statlander in a match against Becca. This was definitely, I mean, I don't want to say it was a squash match because Becca did have a little bit of offense, but at the same time, this is definitely a Statlander showcase. I mean, it was a short match. Statlander got the win. Saturday Night Fever at the very end, and then let's see. I guess Sheeta helped her up the ramp ultimately after kind of the match with Becca. Yeah, that's right. Sheeta
Yeah.
was there ringside, and the two of them made their way up the ramp, and Sheeta kind of like held her and carried her a little bit, so to try to, I guess, whatever, make it look like I guess Sheeta's trying to make Stat trust her. I guess that's the effort here. So, what do you think about the little showcase for Stat against Becca, and then I guess the little post? It's not really post match, but Sheeta and
Yeah.
Stat walking up the ramp together.
Definitely agree with you. This was not for me. This was not a squash match. This was just a short match because, like you said, Becca actually got some offense, and which was very rare. We're just like, what was the let us say agreement, but what was the the game plan between you two when y'all came out here? I can see Statlander being given a giving person. And you're like, you know what, I'm gonna get your stuff off a little bit. So it was a short match, but it was actually a really good match. And the whole thing with Shia and Statlander, I don't know. I just don't know But sure, let's be here for the ride. We're gonna be here for the ride a little bit.
Then we get the AEW Women's Tag Team Champions, Divine Dominion, responding to Hikaru Shida. They're backstage with Lexi Nair, and Cross wonders why they should be worried. They've been ready and waiting. They're not worried about another thrown together tag team, which I suppose is supposed to be a insult towards Willow and Harley, who I guess were thrown together. Um, and so that these are two women that actually wrestle together, and that it's not a challenge. It is your fate, and to accept it, essentially accept the defeat that will be coming at the hands of Divine Dominion. You know, okay. I mean, this is fine. I mean, I'll be honest with you. At this moment, I'd rather hear Divine Dominion talk than wrestle. We'll talk about that during when we review Dynamite. But I'm not overly. I'm more impressed with Lena Cross at this minute. I think it feels like Megan Payne has taken a couple steps back in the ring to me. But it is what it is, and these are your women's champion, tag team champion. So I thought this was fine. What do you think about this?
Um, okay, here I come. I agree with you. I agree with you to a point where it is a case of let's put my eyes on you. I do agree with you. This is a case of the okay, positives. Let's start there. Positives are these are two Amazon queens. They're champions. They look good together. Okay, cool. The whole midship tag team thing. I think that was more directed towards Persephone and Alice Windsor getting paired up.
Sure. Right. Yep. You're right. I forgot about that.
No, you're fine. I want more for them. More so, I want more for Ricky Bang. Her being a tag team champion is just we're stalling. She should be women's. She should be AW women's champion. She needs a good freaking manager, and let's cut through all this crap. That's all I'm saying. Let's cut through all of this crap and do what we should have done maybe a year ago, where Megan Bain was by herself, but Tony Storm was still in the company, so we're trying to stall her out, and we're still stalling her. Why are we still stalling her out? Is the question. Like Tekla is good. Tekla's very much so good, but her reign, even though it's fun, y'all are telling me through her matches, it's not as significant because she's not going up against big people as of right now. So it's like, yeah, let's stop stalling this. Just giving him like let her Convey be by herself, and like her partner is fine. She is. But it is like, okay, the land of the big chicks is coming is all coming to a close. And as of right now, we're not anyone who's over 6 feet isn't really special because they're all coming over to AEW. So it is like let's crown one finally and then sort the others out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that I think Megan Bain is quite ready there wrestling wise. Well, like I said, we'll talk about it when we talk about Dynamite when we review Dynamite because I did have this match. So, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see what ends up happening. Roosh versus Adam
Whew.
Priest. Roosh has been on a collision ascent. He's been winning and he's been on a tear. He looks really good. You mess with the bull, you get the horns. So I'm a big Rouge fan. Adam Priest looked really good. This match was back and forth. I thought it was a very exciting match. I was happy that they gave Adam Priest a fair amount of offense here. I like Adam Priest, and even though I think that if you want Collision to be a better show, overall and have better ratings. I do think, unfortunately, for the Adam Priests of the world, he's probably not drawing a lot of eyes. Roosh is fine, but these matches are more, I don't want to say dark in elevation, but that's kind of how they feel to a certain extent. So it is what it is. That being said, I thought the match itself was fine. I just don't know how many people care about watching Roosh versus Adam Priest. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was glad they gave Priest time, and Roosh's looked great. Roosh did get the win, as he should probably. And I don't know. I'm not sure if they're actually ramping him up to do something. I mean, he wants to be TNT champion. I know that, but whether that happens or not, we'll see. So I don't know. The ultimate question is they're clearly trying to warm Roosh up. That's what they're making
Yeah,
him. But I'm not sure totally why. If they don't pull the trigger, I'm not sure on something. I'm not sure I understand why. So what do you think about Roosh beating Adam Priest in this match?
yeah, we're in the same boat right here. This is more so of a squash match in our little realm of squashes, and but Rooch is so good. I want to ask the question. I'm not sure, like I'm asking it into the ether, but if you have the answer, please give it to me. Like, when did Rooch become hot again? Because it feel like I know he had visa issues a couple of years ago, but it is like, okay, hold up, wait. It feel like Rooch just got back here, but the crowd loves him, and so as of right now, we're not sure what to do with him. That's what it feels like with Tony Khan. It's like, oh, he comes back and people are saying, "You get your horns," and it's like, so like, when he left, wasn't he a part of a heel faction? I'm pretty sure. I got $5 that he was in the Don Callis family. That's what it really feels like. But I guess he came back. We're just gonna squash all that over. But he is still hyped. He is still Rouge. Um, TNT champion. I wouldn't mind that if Kevin Knight wasn't the champion. It's just like, Kevin Knight's the champ, so it's like, dang. Not sure if I like him beating Kevin Knight, but Rouge is a fan favorite, so I'm not sure what we're doing with him right now. But I guess we're just going to enjoy him right now. We'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand you only have so many titles, although you do have a bunch. But you only have so many titles and so many wrestlers, so not everyone can be a title holder and all that kind of thing. But it feels like they're ramping up Roosh for something, and it seems like if you're not going to do something, then the warming up seems odd. That being said, I love
Yeah.
watching Roosh wrestle, so I'm happy with it no matter what. I guess. Takeshita says to Okada. Uh, I tried to avoid this for the sake of the Don Callis family, but if you really want to face me at Double or Nothing, I will happily take your title, bitch. Which I thought was great. He hit him with the bitch, which was Okada's thing. So I loved it. The back and forth with Okada and Takeshita is great. I don't, the language barrier issue seems to not. I like the fact that the broken English almost makes it more impactful to a certain extent because every
Yeah.
word feels more chosen and more emphasized. So, like, you only say like 6 words, but they're impactful, right? So, and I liked it. I thought this was perfect. I thought this was a good response. The only criticism that I have, because I have to criticize everything a little bit, is that I thought Takesha should have looked a little bit more upset. I thought he looked a little too kind of indifferent about it. Like, it is what it is. If you want to do this short, as opposed to, I'm tired of Okada. And I understand I tried to be the nice guy for Don Callis, but fuck that. I'm done with this and I'm going to kick his ass. Like, a little more intensity, a little bit more. I'm tired of this dude poking me. Like, you've been doing this for a while now. Like, you've been trying to get under my skin. You clearly want this match. Let's fucking do it already, and have just a little bit
Yeah.
more ump on it. But other than that, I thought it was great. What do you think about this Takeshita accepting Okada's match?
I love it. I have a different perspective than you do. So if you remember at Revolution, he was the one that basically walked out on Okada during the match. So after doing that, I think like right now he has to one up on him. So I think maybe that's why he has the ease of, listen. I've been trying not to go here, but what's done is done, and probably it's a happiness too as well. Where it's like, I was trying to go here, but best believe I wanted to go here a couple of times, and now the limits are off. So I do get what you're trying to say. Like maybe a little bit more excitement. We're just like, I can't wait to kick your behind. I'm so serious. I've been waiting for so long for this. But Takeshi's too cool for school. That's not his persona. I would love that to be, but it's not his persona. So, but then you said, I love that he tossed it around and called Okada. And so yeah, and so that was hilarious. Um, we all want this match. We do. But it feels like we stretched it out too long where Double or Nothing is the end of May. So it is like I think they kind of ran out of ideas of how to hype this matchup, which is very much so
Yeah.
unfortunate. Because like this was the hot like 2000 the end of 2025. It's like this was the hottest program, and now it's just like we still want it, but we're not craving it anymore. And so it's like I need y'all to work some overtime on this on building this matchup. Yes, it's gonna be a good match, but it still deserves a good hype up as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. They've had several pay-per-views this year already that they could have done it at Revolution. They could have done it at Dynasty. They could have done it, several times when it was a little hotter.
Rose
This is the
in, yeah.
problem. Yeah, this is a problem that AEW has sometimes with stretching stuff out and not striking when the iron is hot, right? I feel like they want to let stuff marinate and cook and simmer, but at the same time, like then a lot of times it goes too long. And people start to lose a little bit of interest. So that being said, Okada also responded tonight, and Okada had a little bit more of the intensity I think I was looking for from Takeshita. And I get that Takeshita, that's not really Takeshita's style, but Okada says, "I don't fear you, I don't like you, I don't respect you." He became louder and angrier, spoke in Japanese for a few minutes, and then finished with, "At Double or Nothing, you lose." And he was definitely more intense than Takeshita, and he looks fired up and ready to go, which is good because I've always railed against which Okada we're gonna get. We're gonna get 60% Okada or 100% Okada. Does he care? Is he engaged? All those things because they are different levels of Okada, right? So I'm hoping against Takeshita on a big stage at a pay-per-view that we're gonna get 100% Okada effort. If we do, the match itself should be amazing. I'm definitely here looking forward to the match. I know we just talked about this a little bit, but what did you think about Okada's rebuttal?
Like you said. So like yeah, putting the dichotomy of who turned on who at Revolution. Yeah, it should be Okada that should be the more revved up of how dare you actually stand up for yourself and accept this challenge. Finally, you should have just been at my feet this whole time, but now you just want to man up, and it sucks.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
we've always said when the lights are bright, Okada is gonna show up and show out. So I have no dealings with Double or Nothing. Okada is going to come out and they're going to have a banger of match. They just got to hype this up better. It deserves to be hyped up way better than this.
Yeah, they got to rewarm it up somehow.
Yes.
Uh, AEW World Champion Hecla and Sky Blue of the Triangle Madness take on Alex Windsor and the
No,
Brawling Birds.
for Stephanie, no, no, no.
Um,
It's
Hold
just
on.
Tekla and Sky Blue versus
Yeah.
Alex Windsor and Persephone.
Yeah. I was getting there. Sorry. Persephone and Alex Winter
Sorry, sorry.
versus Tekla and Sky Blue, which I I like. I guess whatchamacallit. Jimmy Hater's hurt. So I guess that's why whatchamacallit.
She's not medically
Persephone.
cleared yet since
Right.
her fight
So I
with
guess that's
Tekla.
why
Yeah.
Persephone is filling in here. And Persephone is the CMLL Women's World Champion. So she is a solid wrestler. That is a title that has been held by the likes of Stephanie Vicaire and some others. So we know that she's a solid wrestler. I like
Hmm.
Persephone. I like Alex Windsor. I know you're not big on Alex Windsor for multiple reasons.
You keep
Um,
putting
I
stuff
like Alex
on
Windsor.
me.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Triangle of Madness. I love Tekla. I don't like Sky Blue. I don't like Julia Hart. So in that regard, like just as far as in this iteration. Let's put it that way. So it is what it is. Tekla and Sky Blue get the win. It doesn't surprise me, I guess, that Tekla being world champion gets the win here. But I don't know. I feel like there's probably a little more meat on the bones with the Brawling Birds getting the win, just to kind of put the Triangle of Madness kind of on their heels a little bit. It feels like Tekla and the Triangle of Madness are very much kind of on the offensive in general, and just kind of they're thriving at the moment, right? And the Triangle of Madness, especially Sky Blue and Julia, are more mid card people. I know Tekla's a main event superstar. I agree with that. The whole thing is kind of a weird. We've talked about this many times. A weird faction. But them getting the win here, I guess it is what it is. Again, Tekla's a champion, so she should be winning. I just feel like the Birds needed something, and I feel like Persephone and Alex Winter should have got the win here. What do you think about this match?
This was a good match. Tekla is in her bag right now. It feels like she's finally being the Tekla that she wanted to be since she got here. When she first got here, oh, she craved it. She just spotted, and now it's like, yes, she's crazy, but she's human. But she's earth crazy. She's that crazy. She the chick at the bar where you come in. Who is she? Oh, that's Tekla. She crazy as hell, man. Don't get into a fight with that chick. It's like that. Other than, oh, that's crazy tech with the bird lady that you should stay away from. I'm not sure she needs pills or something. You see the difference? But yeah, I love Persephone. I love Persephone. I'm glad they gave her a dual contract because it is AEW. So it's like, let's not act like AEW does every woman right. So yes, have CMLL, have AEW. I definitely like that. Julia Hart coming in, that miss was not missing. She just straight up spit in Persephone's face in black ink. I'm like, hold on. I didn't even practice the miss, ma'am, because you just spit in my face. A gush of spit is different from a spray, in my opinion, and a gush of spit is when a real fight happens and I need to beat your behind. That's just me personally. But I like that they tried to protect Persephone. I will give them that. Where it's like, oh, they do see something where it took missing her to beat her, and maybe they'll run her and Julia Hart as a singles match. Like, hopefully, like Julia Hart. It's been a minute she came to her full self back in injury, and hopefully, like if they do her versus Persephone, she'll back in full strength. I'm hoping, but this was a good match. This was a very good match, and I hope to see more Persephone. Yes.
I agree. We get another video package from Dynamite from the week before. MJF came out and demanded the title back from Darby Allin, but Kevin Knight came out and said, "No, you got screwed." Blah blah blah. Or that Kevin Knight got screwed out of the AEW World Title when he challenged MJF for it last month, and then he wanted to face MJF again. And MJF says, "I will gladly take the TNT title from you. We'll do it on Dynamite." And yeah, I'm fine with this. I mean, I'm here for. I thought their first match was solid. And I'm here for Kevin Knight. I love Kevin Knight. I love MJF. I think this will be solid. I don't. I'm concerned that MJF might get the win, and just because he's MJF, and I feel like,
Yeah.
especially on Dynamite, the announcers were like, uh, MJF or not. Not the announcers, Taz. MJF needs a title. MJF deserves a title. He's so good. He should never be walking around without a title. And I feel like when they do that kind of stuff, it's supposed to, and not always, but it feels like foreshadowing and some kind of
Yeah.
like ultimate, like, giving away some insider stuff. So, I can't imagine that. I hope that MJF, I guess we'll talk about it, but I hope that MJF doesn't get the win over Kevin Knight. But the match itself should be fun. The first one was good. So what do you think about this? I guess here's my thing. I understand you want to weave the shows together, right? You want everyone to want to pay attention to both. I guess I just have an issue with using Dynamite as Collision as a platform to re-show what you did on Dynamite. Like, it's fine, and I understand you want people to know in case you don't. But what are the chances of people that are watching Collision aren't watching Dynamite already. Like, I have a feeling that the people that are watching Collision are the few people that are watching Collision because the ratings aren't great are diehard AEW fans and wrestling fans, and they probably already watched Dynamite from the Wednesday before. So we don't need 2 video packages on Collision about what happened on Dynamite 3 days earlier. But it is what it is. What do you
Yeah.
think about this?
Um. Yeah, I agree with you. Because, like, if this was Dynamite having a collision match, okay, yes, because I think we can all agree that there's more people watching Dynamite than Collision. More new people watching Dynamite than new people watching Collision. Like, I don't see anybody on Collision like, I've never seen a Dynamite before. Let me watch it this week. Like, I definitely don't feel that's how it goes. But like I said, I don't mind a video package hyping up the match. It shouldn't be a long one. Um, Match wise, it was very much so interesting when they announced it on Dynamite because we're all like, hold up, wait, Kevin Knight is the champ. I think we're all over the whole champ to champ scenario where it's just like, yeah, I've done it just in wrestling, period. Champ versus champ, title versus title. It has been played out, and then it always goes to it always equates to the same thing. Oh, they win both titles, but they're going to drop one in a month. So it's like so when they announced this, it really was like, well, MJF just got back. He's not. He shouldn't lose. But Kevin Knight, we're hyping him up. So how's it going to? So if anything, it was very much so. It piques your interest of watching the match. Where it's just like, how are you doing this? How exactly is this going to go down? So the interest of watching this on Dynamite is definitely there.
I agree with that. We had an AEW National Championship match between Jungle Jack Perry and El Hologram. I mean, Hologram clone. Uh,
Yeah.
let's see. The Don Callis family was definitely disappointed after not winning the trios titles earlier in the night. So Clone had a chance here, but he came up short against Jack Perry, who did get the win. I thought this was a really solid match. I like El Clone. I like Hologram. I think he's a solid wrestler. They are the same person. Don't let them convince you they are not. And
Yeah.
he looks good. He looks good. I'm not sure why they did this. I'm not sure why they switched Hologram to El Clone, and I'm not sure how El Clone's supposed to get over more than Hologram did. He's not. If anything, I think Hologram, even though he was strictly Collision, was at least a little more popular than El Clone is and seemed to get more time than El Clone does. So it felt like they were trying to do something to maybe shift Hologram to being a bigger deal, but in the meantime, they've cooled him down, it feels like. I mean, he still looks great in the ring, but he's not doing anything as a member of the Don Callis family. So it is what it is. But this match was a lot of fun. Jack Perry did get the win, and yeah, he's still your AEW national champion. What do you think of this match and Jack Perry getting the win?
Um, like you said, if this was a hologram, not hologram clone, maybe it was like a bit of, oh, we know
Oh,
that.
look who's here. CM is here. She says, I'm watching Hell in a Smell, and I found out New Day is gone.
No, nobody's not gone. Wait, hold up, wait a freaking minute. Jeez Louise, you can't be dropping these gems on us like that. What? Give us a minute. What is the freaking hell in the smell? Wait, uh,
Wait, coming in with the hot take real quick. We'll give Anika a second to do some some research here. I'm sure she's googling New Day
uh,
WWE.
all right. So AI says they're still there, but it's AI. I can't really trust that niggas. No offense. Uh,
Eh. Hell in a Smell is a punishment from Cultaholic. Okay, I'm not. We will never be doing.
so to bring that around, what you call it? I do think we should it's been a minute since we had a game night. We should definitely do a game night. Not hell in the smell, but definitely a game night.
Yeah, apparently Sean Ross Sapp reported it, I guess.
The
When you say New Day is gone, you mean like they've left WWE? If so,
no, it's
come
that
on,
would be
come on, Kofi and Xavier, come right to AEW. We'll gladly welcome you with open arms.
it's crazy because what's the face? Like the dreaded day after Mania happened. So it is like, huh? What the
He says yes, they mutually parted ways. Very interesting. Wow, that's a big deal. Bring it on, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Come on down to AEW. You could be all elite.
it's whoa.
Wow, that's a big deal. Kofi Kingston, well, Xavier too, but Kofi's been with AEW with WWE for a really, really, really long time. Now, to be fair, neither. Let's see. CM says check your IG.
I
Send
got it,
a
boo. That whoa.
screenshot. We'll give Anika a minute to process. You have some things you want to
No,
say about it?
no, because I'll say it right now. That was the biggest fumble of 2025 when we turned New Day heel and you didn't have anything for them after you turned them heel. It was the best heel turn ever. Yeah, you broke your neck, so what? And it's like, who the freak says that to you? We're gonna say your best friend, but you don't give them the belt until what? It feels like it was after Mania. So it's like what? And then after that, you put Grayson Waller with them. Like, what the freak was that foolishness? I was interested earlier when before WrestleMania, they're trying to let Javon Evans be Kofi's mentor. I was all for that. They just dropped that, and so it's like it's too many drop storylines. It is. It is too many drop storylines for New Day, and I like that. This probably feels like an Xavier Woods decision more than Kofi. I say that because Xavier Woods has not been WWE all his life. He's been in TNA. He's been on the indie scene. So it feels like, yeah, Xavier's like, listen, I know you thought you were gonna be a WE pro, for a lifer, but trust me, if we go like Kofi can still go, in my opinion. So like if we leave, it it won't be bad. It won't like trust. It won't be, oh well they still love us. Please, like I agree with you. Please come to AEW. Please come to AEW. Oh my gosh, Ricochet versus Kofi would be awesome. But yeah, I definitely thought that they would be in WWE for life. I definitely thought that. I know Xavier gets hurt a couple of times, but listen, have a tag
Is,
team.
is anyone from Up Down Down still in WWE?
No.
Nope. No more Adam Cole.
Trying to
No
go.
more Tyler Breeze. No more.
Samoa
No more Xavier
Joe.
Woods.
No more
No more John
Cesaro
Morrison.
slash.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they're all
That's
gone. Yeah.
crazy. Like, just yeah. I know. Okay, listen. I know AEW is wrestling based, but marketing wise, strategy. Oh my god! If we get New Day versus Young Bucks before that, oh my
Yeah. I'm here for that. I'm here for
god!
that. I'm here for that. Or even versus FTR. I'm here for that. But definitely versus the Young Bucks. Yeah, for sure. Versus the Young Bucks would be a lot of fun.
WWE, you ooh, and this is okay, and this is why I'll say it and see if you'll comment. I don't know who's doing the cutting. I don't know. In my mind, it feels like it's someone who doesn't know wrestling. Now, granted, Jay
Yeah, we
White
could see
versus
Jay
Cole.
White come back.
Yeah, in my now listen. Thank God over B Brock because if he didn't, Triple H was that going to be some allegations. But In my mind, I think I'm hoping Triple H isn't stupid enough to be like, even if you think they have nothing else to contribute, you're smart enough to say, I don't want to go to AEW. Like with AJ Styles. Yes, you could for some so stupid. You couldn't get his contract in check.
So CM says apparently the cuts are different from just leaving. They apparently left, like they just decided to.
Oh, so that that sounds like to me they didn't renew their contract. So
And
yeah,
I guess
they're like,
Paul
yeah, we don't
handed
want a new
everything.
one.
Oh no, Paul Levesque. Paul helps makes those decisions, I guess.
And so it's like it's truly profound. I don't like calling people stupid, but like I said, even if you think they don't have any more value in your company, you're really going to run the risk of them going to AEW. Like I said, like, believe what you want. Kofi can still go, and when Xavier gets better, he can still go. And if they and Lord have mercy in Wembley Stadium, if they give us Young Bucks versus New Day, oh, the roof is gonna go the freak off in that place. Like even though it doesn't even have to be a full 5 year contract. Just give them thing for a year, get some bigger matches, and then do what the other freak you want. 'Cause I'm pretty sure it's like this is what I feel like. Triple H is probably like Kofi's not gonna go over there. It's like at this point I'm not gonna say a cult, but it is like I think he does some mind games where it's like, oh, even though we're cutting you right now, you're still family. You should just stay here. Don't worry. I mean, maybe next year we'll resign you. And it's like no, no. So I'm hoping Xavier Woods is talking to Kofi, and it's like, listen, I know you've been here the whole time, but let's go over the pond, bruh. Let's go over the freaking pond and just see what's out there, because there's still some good matches to be had. They are.
Yeah, no, I mean, if they actually get away from WWE and go somewhere else and wrestle, more power to them. I'm happy because I want to see them in AEW. There's a bunch of matches
Yeah.
I'd love to see them. I love both singles and tag team. They both can still go, and I would love to see all of them. Let's see. CM says a match
Ping
with
pong.
Osprey, Knight, Speedball, Garcia, or Yuta versus Xavier or Kofi. Yep, all of those matches. I mean, yeah. She says,
Oh
"Oh
my
my god, yeah." No,
god.
I mean the idea of them being in AEW is one that I definitely like a lot. Who would have thought? And I've said this before, but who would have thought that WWE would have actually been better when Vince was at the helm? Like I don't want to put it all on the shoulders of Triple H, but between Triple H and TKO, they have since Vince McMahon sold that it has gone downhill. It has been run directly into the ground, in my opinion. Now I'm not watching it. I'm just telling what I've heard, but from everything I hear, it's gone way down. So, and who would have thunk that, right? That people would be like, "Oh, I kind of wish Vince was back, or Vince was better at this than
I
these guys are." Like, it's like, whoa, really? Uh, so let's see. Two things. CM says Andrade versus Kofi. Yes, that would be amazing. And she also says
mm,
you can put it all on Paul. He's stupid. Yeah, I mean, I've never been a Triple H fan, so I'm fine with doing that too. Um, that being said, we've been talking about WWE for a minute, so let's get back to where we were at. Willow acknowledges that her new nickname, the Comeback Killer, following her successful defeat against, or her successful title defense against Sheeta, Aminata, and Camille, is fine. She's good with all that. Oh,
sorry. Real quick. Jeff Cobb, come home. You should have been at WWE in the first place. You should have been no, you should have been at AEW. Jason Mateo, Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb should have never signed a contract to WWE in the first place. You should have been with your Osprey brothers, with your United Empire. You should have been with your United Empire people in the first place. I'm not sure who tricked you into and coming up there. Go home. Go home. Go to AEW. Go to Osprey. Go to Mark Davis. Go home. Sorry. No,
She was as far as
everybody, Jay, I was very surprised. No, you good. I was very surprised Jeff Cobb from WWE. I was very surprised at that. Because I'm like, they're not gonna know what to do with you, baby. They will not know what to do with you.
true.
Oh, and how they left was the okay, sorry. So last week they had a match with Solo and sorry, brain fart. Jacob Fatu. And at the end of the match, Jacob Fatu just basically just ran rapid all over MFTs. And so this week it was only Solo and Nicoleo. I thought they were just what's the face? I thought they were just sitting them out. Then what's the word? They were just like, oh, they got hurt, so they're not here this week. That was their send off. That was their send off. That's crazy. Wow. But yeah, Jeff Cobb, go home. Go home. You should have never signed a company in the first place.
I agree with that. So, as I was saying, Willow says that she knows what it's like to come back from injury, but if you want to try to come back at her expense, she'll show you why she's accepted the nickname. Sheeta, Aminata, and Camille all found out. And I am Will. They all found out I'm Willow Nightingale, and I am at your service. I thought this was great. I thought this was a perfect promo for Willow. Accept who it is. Yeah, she's beat 3 people that have come back. Accept that moniker. She's looked good in beating those people. She's looked good in her reign here. So I was here for all this. I liked all this. What do you think about this little Willow promo or whatever you
I
want to call
love
it?
Willow, and I was here for all this as well. My only thing was more so Camille, I was very much so surprised that they had her back to get beaten. I didn't want her to beat Willow, but it was a surprising turn of events. Where it's like, huh, you let her come back just to lose so fast? Like talk about you don't have any faith in her anymore. That's honestly how I feel about it, which really sucks. But either way, I do comeback killer. I like that.
Yeah,
As of right now, they're doing a good job with her counter reign, where it's on TBS. It's TBS champion. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm going to enjoy it for now. I don't want to look into the future so far because at any moment they're going to take the belt. They will definitely take the belt from her, and that would really, really suck. So either right now, I will enjoy this moment of her being champ, and we'll see where it goes.
yeah, I'm curious to see what, if anything, they do with Camille now that she's supposedly back. It does seem weird for her to come back and just take that loss. Same with Aminata. I'm assuming there's plenty on the bone for Aminata because they were doing stuff with her to begin
Yeah.
with, and she'll be fine. Um, as much as I mean, I love Queen Aminata, and I'm a huge fan of Camille. They haven't booked either of them the same way they booked Sheeta over the years, so those victories aren't quite equal. Her beating Sheeta has more on it than it does beating either of those other 2 women. But that being said, still 3 solid victories, and Willow's reign has been very good. So, and her having the 2 belts for a minute when she was with Harley and they were tag team champions, they've done Willow. We kept asking and wanting more for her. I feel like they've done that. I mean, at some point she should be AEW Women's World Champion too, but for the
Yes.
moment they've done a really good job of taking care of Willow recently. So I'm happy about that.
I
Let's
concur.
see. Shibata is on camera duty as he videotapes Samoa Joe and Hook walking around. Samoa Joe says, "What have you been doing?" And Hook lies right to his face and says, "I've been holding it down. You have not been holding it down. You haven't been doing anything. I think since Joe went out, you've been on TV like 3 times. All you did was talk. You guys, I mean, I feel like since Joe's been gone, the ops have done absolutely nothing. Thankfully, Samoa Joe is back. But
Yes.
here we go. Here comes Anthony Bowens. Anthony Bowen says to Hook, "What's the deal? I've been asking you. I want to be a member of the ops. Are you going to let me in? Are you not? What's the deal? I want to answer now." Joe basically tells him to calm down, back up a little bit, relax. And Hook says, the position's been filled. And Bowens kind of gives him a weird look for a minute. And then both Joe and Hook acknowledge that Bowens is the one that's now filled that spot. So apparently, Anthony Bowens is now a member of the ops, which is fine with me. I don't have a problem with it. Anthony Bowens needs something to do. He's been just kind of floating out there in the ether, not doing a whole lot. So this gives him something to do. And Hook is terrible. So Bowens is, gonna fill that spot with Shibata, and he's way better in the ring. He's way better on the mic than Hook. So, he's gonna fill that spot, which is fine because it is what it is. I like Hook. I don't have a problem with Hook. I just think he hasn't developed. He's not what he does. So, which is unfortunate. But they just have to make sure and let Anthony Bowens be himself. We'll talk about it a little during Dynamite because when the four of them have their first group promo, I don't know. Let's see. He says they haven't. Hook was a flop as a leader. Joe's going to take him out. Yeah, I mean that would be. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to them taking out Hook or removing Hook. Yeah, and CM says, "Where is Max Caster?" Yeah, I'm not sure. He was doing his Platinum Max thing for a while, and then him and Bowens were feuding and had a match, and then I don't know. Now it looks like he's kind of gone away. I haven't seen him in a few weeks, so. Not totally sure what the
Yeah.
plan is with Max Caster. Thought they were going to try to reunite the Acclaim. They did that for a minute, but then I guess they decided there's more meat on the bones of not united. I don't know. And I guess with Bowens with the ops. So we'll see how that plays out. What do you think about this promo with Shibata behind the camera and then bringing Bowens into the ops?
Um, I'm not mad at them bringing Owens into the ops. It's more so, like you said, we were doing a whole thing with Max Caster. Say what you want about it. I think it was catching on. You just didn't give it a big enough stage for it to stay on. Or it's just like y'all just you just dipping your toe in it, and then you just said, screw it, which is so unfortunate. It really is. Um, there it is. I like Max Caster. I like his personality. I am not sure if it will mesh well with Samoa Joe. It's two different you know what I'm saying? It's two different dichotomies of personalities. Where it's like I don't like Matt Caster is hard hitting, but he's not hard like that. Like he's not like an intimidating force from the street. That's not his persona. And Joe is that's in the words of Bane. Oh, you were trained in darkness. I was born into it. Like Joe was born being swagged out. So this is a good opportunity for him, and I just hope that what's the word? He can stay with Joe. And let's hey, whatever Joe this is out. Don't mess it up. don't look like you're not supposed to be there. That's what I'll say. You don't have to be hard. Just I need you to feel like you belong in the staple. There you go. I need you to feel like even if your own way. I need you to feel like it meshes well. Cause I do want more for Anthony Bowens. I do think he deserves more. And so if this is the way to get it, hopefully it works. So here's hoping.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you. I mean, I'm not sure that I think that Anthony Bowen's personality really fit with the op, but I'm curious to see how they play this out. I'll talk about it a little bit when we get to Dynamite because I do think he looked a little off during the promo that they had. But we'll get there. But yeah, I do have that same concern. Like, I think he's better off. I personally, I like him better as a face. I mean, we haven't really seen him too much as a heel, but I like him as a face and I like him as the pride of pro wrestling. And I'm afraid being part of the ops, he's going to get away from that. He doesn't strike me as a real mean guy. That's not what his like. That doesn't feel like his sweet spot or his lane. I like him as a likable, nice guy more than kind of that. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see how he ultimately fits in. Um, let's see. We got a comment from Fearfully Confident that Moxley
Hello,
Osprey
my darling.
storyline is the best story in professional wrestling right now. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, you definitely have two of the premier wrestlers in the world in that storyline, but with John Moxley and Will Ospreay, I mean, it's hard to argue with that. I mean, to be fair, there isn't. It's tough because there isn't what I would call a lot of other great storylines going on at the moment. So, I mean, there's other ones, but I mean, what are we talking about? We're talking about Darby and MJF, which is fine. But yes, Moxley and Osprey outranked that in my opinion. There's what other feuds are we really talking about? Main event feuds. Like I said, I don't watch WWE, so Nika, if you want to talk about any main event WWE feuds, but from AEW, I mean, it's definitely the biggest feud on their radar at the moment, and yeah, I'm here for it. I think it should be very good. Um, he
Um,
also said,
as of right
"Oh,
as of
but
right now, I am enjoying Roman being back as champ because this next Saturday it'll be him and Jacob for Backlash. So I'm like, I'm here for that. Uh, and like you said, I'll say the most interesting, and that's more so because again, AEW really does storylines to build up matches. So I would challenge that. Sorry, brain fart. MJF chasing Darby to get his title back. I would challenge that might be a better storyline. I think that's the better story because MJF just crashing out on people after each match and just asking for Darby to get the match back. I'm enjoying it just a little bit better. I am.
I can do that. That's fair." He also mentioned Swerve versus Bandito, most dangerous person, most wanted. Yeah, I mean that's fun. I mean,
So
I
you're
don't have
alert.
reservations with Bandito, but yeah, I mean, I don't, it's. I mean, Bandito's solid and Swerve is solid. I mean, that would be fun.
We're definitely gonna so stick around for the next hour because we're definitely gonna come back to that. We're definitely gonna
Uh,
talk about this at Dynamite.
it is time for the main event of this episode of Collision from April 25th. It is the Demand, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toliona versus He Who Shall Not Be Named and the Hurt Syndicate, the returning Hurt Syndicate. Uh, anytime that He Who Shall Not Be Named, Mr. Chris Jericho, is in a main event on a show, I'm already disappointed. It is very frustrating to me to have to watch Chris Jericho at 60 years old on my TV doing what he can't do really anymore. So I've never been a Jericho fan. I never liked him when he was young and even in his prime. I don't like him now. I don't like him. I don't like him. I'm sorry. That being said, it was fine. The demand is solid. Ricochet, Toliona, Bishop Khan have been doing great work. I like the demand. I'm not sure exactly what Tony Khan's plan is to do with them. I feel like they're a little stagnant, but I like them as a faction. I'm always happy to see Shelton Benjamin on my screen. Bobby Lashley is what he is for me. I do like the Hurt Syndicate, so them being back, but them being with Jericho, and I understand Jericho paid him, and it's just business. It is what it is. Paid a lot of money for their help, so hopefully this is a one-off thing. I don't want to see any kind of vortex with the Hurt Syndicate and Jericho. The Demand did get the win here, as they should. Thankfully, I mean, just because Jericho's on the other side. Um, I don't necessarily I'm not necessarily here for the Demand beating the Hurt Syndicate on a regular basis or as a general rule, but I definitely am here for them beating Jericho. Um, so, yeah, I mean, I thought this was definitely, as I thought the match itself was okay because of the people in it besides Jericho. But as far as it goes, this was a bad main event for me, and it took the show down for me. So for me, I'm gonna give this episode of Collision, man, I don't know, like probably a C plus, B minus, somewhere right there. I mean, I thought it was okay, but there was nothing on it that was good.
That
The
was
main
good.
event with Jericho
Jericho.
always bothers me. Um, there was some other stuff on the show.
The show,
What do you think? What do you think of the main event? And give the show a grade. There's an echo.
So I had to switch. Can you hear me? Say something.
We can hear you. I can hear you.
God dang it. I'm supposed to pair it, but it's not going through the headphones. All right. Talk about it later. Is it still an echo? All
No, now I don't hear
right,
an
cool.
echo.
All right. All right. So here's.
The CM says, "Let him beat up on Jericho." It feels right. I agree.
It feels good. Yeah. So them, what you call it? Use your words, Anika. There it is. Jericho and Hurt Business being together has It was an odd pairing. It really was. I know the shock of it was, ooh, but then it's like, huh? So, and again, I get it because they probably just said yes because they want to beat up Ricochet and Gates of Agony. Okay, cool. But yeah, Jericho was the odd person out in all this, and subsequently, that's why he's the one who got pinned. I listen. I know Pretty Ricky. What's the word? He said some dumb behind stuff on the internet, and this is probably punishment. But I don't think Ricky should be in the vortex. I don't think Ricky should be in the Jericho vortex. I don't think so. In my mind, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. You let him beat him twice, but of course it's Jericho, so he's going to get his leg back. So it is like, please wrap this up where Ricky wins and Ricochet, and we're done with this. We're done with Jericho. That's my 2 cents. And hopefully, to put this earlier, holding out a lot of main people in the main baby faces in the title picture. Put Lashley in there. What are we stalling for with Lashley going for the world title? Like, we're stalling, but why? Can you please tell me why? Why are we stalling for Lashley to be in title picture?
Yeah, CM says letting the Hurt Syndicate versus Demand be a feud. I mean, I'm here for that. Get rid of Jericho, and I'm here for that. That would be fun. I mean,
yeah, but unfortunately, I think they did it wrong the first time, where they kind of faced them already. Yeah, they kind of faced them already. Yeah, and they let the Hurt Syndicate beat them, and I'm not sure they forgot they beat them already because they're like, who else you want to face? It's like you already beat them. Like, oh, okay. Not saying you can't run it back, but it definitely should be some new flavor in your ear if we are going to run it back.
And like, what was I gonna say? It's, I'm here for it, but at the same time, like, the Hurt Syndicate really only has the two guys. MVP is not going to wrestle enough to make it a 6-man match on a regular basis, or like a 6-man feud. Like, it's really Shelton and Bobby versus whoever two the Demand want to run at them, right? I mean, more Gates of Agony. I mean, there really isn't a whole lot for Ricochet to do unless they get a third person, really, to a certain extent. So it is what it is. Let's see. CM says, oh no, I'm sorry. Fearfully, he says, what releases, if any, would you want to see in AEW? So we talked about it. I mean, did you guys talk about releases last Tuesday at the cookout?
We talked about all the releases that happened in WWE. Okay. That's a very weird question. We don't want anyone to lose their jobs. We don't want anyone to be broke. We don't want anyone to lose their jobs. A better question is I think a better question he's asking is maybe, and to correct me if I'm wrong, do we want to see anybody from AEW go to WWE? I think that's probably a better question. And to that, I say, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't know. The only one, like I given up on it, but if it happens, I'll enjoy it. Samoa Joe versus the Tribal Chief. I'm like, listen, Joe was going up against the big dog. The big dog had no chance to get Samoa Joe. But I would love to see the Tribal Chief versus Samoa Joe just once. But what you call it? Besides that, no, I don't want to see anybody get released. I don't want to see anybody lose their jobs. That's my take on it. Yours?
I agree with you. I don't want anyone to lose their job. That being said, I don't have a problem with talking about guys that I think potentially I would want to see in AEW. I don't have the list of release guys right in front of me, but there are several people, especially that we just talked about, Kofi and Xavier. I would love to see them in AEW. Jeff Cobb, I think, is a perfect fit to either go back to New Japan or come to AEW. There's a lot to do in AEW for Jeff Cobb. I could see Jeff Cobb in AEW as well. I think there's room for Toa Leona too. Here's my problem with AEW. AEW already has a bloated roster with way too many guys and not enough TV time. So the more people that you add to, the more people that leave WWE and come to AEW, it just means that there's less time for other people. I mean, you just have to figure out how to work everybody in. Obviously, it's nice to have all those toys to play with if you're Tony Khan, but like you can only play with so many toys at one time, right? So some
Yeah.
people get left out, unfortunately. Let's see. He did say that the Hurt Syndicate is recruiting. What about Isaiah Cassidy for the Hurt Syndicate? Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I don't know that he necessarily fits the Hurt Syndicate per se, but he needs something to do. So that would work okay.
My thing
Let's see. He
is,
also says
you heard the whole last year recruiting. They brought the only person they brought up was MJF. So I don't need to recruit no more. Like just tell me who's in it next time. I don't need you. I don't need the whole spiel of them having business cards to other people anymore. Like if you found someone you like, just put them in the group.
yeah. So this is kind of interesting. The 90-day compete clause ends against the Motor City Machine Guns, and that Dynamite is going to be in Detroit after their 90. So maybe we'll see the Motor City Machine Guns. I'd be here for that. That would be one that I would be good with. Let's see. Fearfully says I'll go with Kyrie Sane, and I like Santos, but other than that, yeah, bloated roster. So yeah, Santos Escobar and Kyrie Sane maybe to AEW. And then he says happy birthday to Thekla. All right, so that brings us. Oh, you need to give Collision a grade. Happy birthday, Thekla. Give Collision a grade, and then we'll move on to Dynamite.
For me, Collision was fun. It was anything egregious to it. But it's Collision, so like there are no high stakes. That's the only thing. I think Collision needs some more high stakes on the program to get elevated to Dynamite a little bit better. So for that, I'm trying to think. I'll give it a solid B.
A B, all right. I was hemming and hawing between a C minus and a B plus, or C plus and a B minus. I'm gonna go with a B minus. You gave it a B, so you're giving it a little bit better grade than I gave it. So, Dynamite or Collision gets a B from Anika and a B minus from me. That means we're ready to switch to our AEW Dynamite review, and Miss Anika will take over and take us through AEW Dynamite from Wednesday.
Hi, I'm Anika. This is AEW from April the 29th, last Wednesday. Okay. Hi. I had notes, but they're on my phone. The tablet's gone. I'm on my phone, so we're just gonna vibe out. No, it should be fine. But we come out the gate. They had a couple of they did a video package of how basically how Darby's championship is going, how he beat MJF his first bout with Ciampa, which was so good. Use Ciampa more on Dynamite, please and thank you. And now we're going for and how MJF's taking care of it. And then right after the video package, we go right into the match between Kevin Knight versus MJF. And let me tell you, this was good. And MJF just came out balls to the walls. How he was throwing Kevin Knight against the steel steps, I was very much so worried. I was just like, hold up, because like at one point Kevin was holding his hip. So I'm like, hold up, wait, is he good? Is he good? Because how you was throwing him was a little cash crazy, but he was fine. Kevin Knight is in this match, he proved Kevin Knight was a very good seller. Because I was just like, hey, time out. Let's just make sure he's good. Ended up being a consummate heel. He, after beating him up, he did a sick powerbomb to the guardrail, which is I think is more dangerous than doing it to the ring apron, because at least the ring apron is more of a flat surface. That guardrail, one false move and this looks like boo. Then his emotionally crackhead behind gonna get the camera and start filming Kevin Knight in pain and just start kicking him in the stomach, which is crazy. But Kevin Knight came back. Thank God he had some offense, which is so much freaking good. And the story of this match was MJF just taking Kevin Knight for granted. And every time he did and got some offense, thankfully, I don't say thankfully, but MJF came back, but your lackadaisical covers, and you would have covered him properly, it would have been over. But because you want to play with him, now you send yourself up for failure. So a couple of near falls, and MJF is like, you know what? Screw this. Let's distraction, diamond ring. But as SB3 said, everyone knows what like MJF is becoming too predictable. Now everyone knows that he's gonna try to low blow or what's the word? DQ, use some underhanded shady stuff. So the kryptonite for MJF, low blow. So Kevin Knight is the low blow cover. 1, 2, 3. Kevin Knight beats MJF. I did not see that coming. I thought maybe, like I said, maybe DQs. Thankfully, what's the word? AEW doesn't do a lot of those, so it isn't like it's like, oh, not another one. Oh, it could have been a surprise. Maybe a draw, maybe like that's but like you let Kevin Knight. Oh, say it again.
I didn't say anything.
Oh. But yeah, they let Kevin Knight beat MJF 1, 2, 3, and I am not mad at it. This is what you're supposed to do to hike up your up and coming talent, especially people you see can be up there. So I am all here for it. This was a good match. Your thoughts?
I thought it was great. I thought it was wonderful. I thought both guys really left it all in the ring. I thought it worked well. I thought the ending came off well, where MJF went to his normal bag of cheating tricks, but it didn't work, thankfully, and Kevin Knight was able to pull out the victory. I was very nervous because Kevin Knight is Kevin Knight and MJF is MJF. And the way Taz was talking about MJF, it's a crime that MJF doesn't have a title and he's about to have another one here. As this match was going on, I was thoroughly convinced that MJF was getting the win. So the fact that Kevin Knight came out victorious was definitely a surprise for me, as it was for MJF, as you could tell. Or MJF did a great job of pretending like it was a surprise, like he didn't know what was going to happen. He does a great job of selling that stuff. No, I thought this was phenomenal. I'm so happy that Kevin Knight got the win. It does a great job of pushing Kevin Knight. I like him with that title. I want him to have that title for at least a few more victories. He doesn't have to have it forever, but a couple more victories and a little bit of time with it. And the spiral of MJF is great. Like losing to Kevin Knight, but then turning immediately, and we'll talk about it, I'm sure, to Darby. Just the whole MJF not being able to handle the losing is amazing, right? So he's great at crashing out. So I'm here for all of that. So
yeah. So speaking of crashing out, so Kevin Knight wins. He's holding his championship up high. He's getting his hand raised, but MJF can't just let it go. So he chops blocks Kevin Knight knee that he's been selling throughout the whole match. He still has the ring in his hand, but the goal hit him with it. But not Sting. It's Darby coming down from the Raptors to help Kevin Knight out with the Scorpion Death Drop. And listen, it's very hard to take a legendary stuff from another wrestler and make it your own. Sting stuff on Darby looks good on him. It does. Just the Scorpion Death Drop looks so good. Where it's just like, yeah, that's yours now. We're calling it Scorpion. Like we're not changing the name to the Darby Death Drop. We're going to keep calling it the Scorpion Death Drop. But yes, it looks good on you. Of course, Scorpion Death Drop, and then MJF rolls out the ring, and the crash out continues. He's like, "Listen, I never wanted. I won't even try my hardest. I don't care about the stupid TNT title. All y'all are just a bunch of freaking cheaters who just. That's why y'all get along so well. You keep cheating to get the win over me." And like I said, I never wanted that title. I want my world championship title, Darby. So give it back. And so again, Darby just says, "No, I'm not giving." Like, I just love it. He's like, "No, I'm not giving it back to you." He's like, and it's like the stipulation is, I'm not giving it back to you unless you put something on the line. And Darby says he knows what that is. I don't know. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure next week I think next week they should say something because Double or Nothing is the end of May. Yeah, we should do stipulation by next week, in my opinion. But maybe you one more match and then we'll get see what happens. So and then so
Carefully confident think Speedball's gonna turn on Kevin Knight at All In.
they've been teasing a whole lot of dissension between Speedball and Kevin Knight. I'm not sure we do it just yet, but with a good lineup, I'm here for either way. Either Speedball turning on Kevin Knight or Kevin Knight turning on Speedball. Probably the latter of Kevin Knight turning on Speedball. That's maybe just me. But Darby was like, huh?
I don't think Speedball has the personality to turn heel like that. I just don't. Kevin Knight, I can see like turning heel and being really good at it. Speedball just doesn't seem to have enough personality in general, let alone to be a solid heel, right? That's just my personal, but
In my mind, if we're turning Speedball heel, I think you go Mickey James with it. I think you go Mickey James stalking Trish Stratus, Speedball stalking Kenny Omega. That's how I want Speedball to turn heel. Now you're the stalker who didn't get who doesn't get the attention of the person he admires. Now I got to turn on you and take you out. I think that should be the how Speedball turns heel. But Darby says, I already know who's the next challenger, and he turns to Kevin Knight. It's Kevin Knight. So that's next week. He's like, and he says, if I survive Brody King. Here comes Q Brody. Brody comes in all broody like he is, staring down MJF like, what the frick you going to? He ain't gonna do nothing, baby. He goes down the ring and he goes to Kevin Knight. He's like, you're not facing Darby. You're facing me. You're going to face me. Darby, and he goes to Darby. Darby, I'm beating you, and I'm taking that AEW World Championship. And it's just like, how confident he was. I'm like, is he going to do that? Do y'all know something we don't know? That's how confident Brody is. And I love that about it. I love that about him. So again, MJF still crashing out. Darby's standing 10 toes down on, I'm not giving you a title match so easily. I'm loving all of this. Your thoughts?
I like it all. There's a lot going on here, but I enjoyed it all. I thought it was solid. I'm here for Brody. We'll talk about it, obviously, when we get there. Brody King and Darby Allin. Brody King getting a shot at the title. I'm here for that, or a second shot at the title in the last month. I'm here for that. Yeah, I mean, I thought this all came off fine. I mean, I'm not necessarily the biggest Darby Allin fan, so it is what it is. And I was never the biggest Sting fan, so like him coming out of the rafters and doing the Scorpion Death, none of that really resonates with me per se like that. But I get it; it does with wrestling fans. People love it, so and it's exciting, and he's over for that. So Darby is extremely over. There's a couple comments here we'll get to. CM says people forget that Darby is a trained technical wrestler. They forget that because AEW refuses to present him that way. AEW likes to just present him as the guy that gets his ass kicked and then somehow manages to pull out a victory at the very end. So, it kind of is what it is. But
yeah, real quick.
Let's see.
Real quick.
Right.
Just hit that one real quick.
No, yeah. Well, let's see. So I'm going to get to all of them. So
hater, no, because that's a real one right there. Because you're a hater. You're a hater. Talking about you don't like Sting. Hater. All right, continue.
Fearfully Confident wants to know, when is Redemption?
What is that?
I'm not sure what exactly Redemption is. So maybe you can let us know. Let's see. CM says Speedball is too nice, but Canadians are nuts, so you never know. We'll have to see, but I agree with the Speedball is too nice. He says, Fearfully Confident says, Knight is a champion, therefore the turn has to be Speedball. And look him in the face when Knight won, it's a heel turn. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is the answer to when is Redemption. Maybe CM saying right before, I think, All In.
Pay-per-view. Oh, okay.
No, it's the new pay-per-view. Okay.
For AEW?
Yeah. I guess somehow I missed that. I don't know. Was that on Dynamite? I missed that? I'm not sure.
Because Forbidden Door is in June 28th. So yeah, I wonder. We don't. That's new. We got Forbidden. We got Double or Nothing in May. We got Forbidden Door in June. It's not coming anytime soon. I don't. Maybe July. Maybe
Yeah, I'm
July.
not sure. TM says Darby doesn't like that presentation either, except for certain opponents. I'm assuming the being thrown around presentation. She also says Canadians are the reason for the Geneva Convention. That's funny. All right. So, for the sake of ultimately trying to get out of Winter Circle at some point today and give people back their Saturday, let's go ahead and press on. What do we got next?
All right, so next up, so after that, it's like just in case you just got here, let's show you a video package of let's show a video package of Darby versus Brody, and basically it's them beating the crap out of each other, and it is awesome. It is awesome. Listen, I am of two dichotomies of Darby Allin. I love him versus Will Ospreay, which is a technical masterpiece, probably my favorite. I'm trying to think, but I'm gonna say it. Yeah, maybe my favorite Ospreay match so far that I've seen in AEW. But the other side is Samoa Joe versus Darby, little that boy, where he gets tossed around like a pile of pancakes. And I love that as well. So, but Darby versus Brody is just a tale as old as time, and I love every minute of it. And so, this could have been on pay-per-view, but it's on TV. And either way, Darby is that dude where he thinks everything is important, and it should be to a wrestler's mind. And they're gonna rock out on this. Like you just like if you know like, and this video package proves, oh, so this is what's gonna happen early. Is this gonna happen later on tonight? Yes, boys and girls, and probably worse. The video package, the same equal violence, maybe worse. Any thoughts on the video package?
I mean, I'm a huge Brody King fan, so no, and they did a good job of hyping up the match for later. We'll talk about the match when we get there. I'm happy that Brody King is in the main event. And even though I'm not the biggest Darby fan, I am here for doing things that are different and for giving people that don't necessarily get an opportunity traditionally in wrestling maybe
Yeah.
haven't been given the same opportunities as other guys. So I'm happy, and I'm happy for Darby that he's the AEW World Champion. And I'm happy for AEW and Tony Khan to do something a little bit different. Maybe the slightly the path that's a little less taken. But yeah. So I mean, this video package is good. I mean, I'm excited for the match, and I'm excited to talk about it when we get there.
Very much so enjoyable. All right, so commercial comeback, and we have Cope and Christian. Yeah, in the back, and Renee Paquette is interviewing them, talking about what happened at Collision with FTR changing stipulations to an I Quit match, and Christian was I speak for both of us. We accept. It's like you're Christian, so cool. And so Adam Copeland teases him, took him out. Just don't say the words like you did last time. And Christian was like, listen, I don't know how many times I have to repeat myself. I did not say I quit. He walks off. The Copeland's like, he totally said it. He was he's not gonna do it this time, but he totally said it. Nice, clean, hilarious. I love it. I love every minute of it. Christian, don't change. Any thoughts?
I mean, I'm here for this weird kind of face edge heel Christian dynamic. Like the way they're making it work is very interesting. I like it. I'm here for it. Like I said, the nostalgia of having Edge and Christian back together is exciting. I've always been so on Edge, but I love Christian. Them versus FTR, I think is solid, right? I mean, the last match was okay, and the next match should be good. I mean, the four guys can really wrestle. There's no reason to think it won't be bad. It'll be interesting to see what happens after this, but I'm here for this at the moment. Yeah, and I'm definitely here for the tag team with the face edge heel Christian. I love that kind of dynamic. The two of them working together is.
Most definitely. So next match, a lot of matches tonight. We have the Brawling Birds of Alex Windsor, and thankfully it was not a long injury. Jamie Hayter's back, and so yes, we're coming. So yes, we're back together again, and like I said, thankfully it was not a long time. Like you're like, oh God, Jamie's gone for a month. No, it's only for a week, and that's cool. And so the show, and so they're going up against these two guys. I had notes, man, but Emily Jade and Jordan Blake. Yeah, thank you for the win. Even though it was a squash match, still they look good. I like Jordan Blake in the beginning. She looked like she was all like she was here for it. Like, yeah, I'm on television. Let's go. And then y'all just let them get squashed, and it's just like, oh, boo boo bears, and that's what usually happen. 1, 2, 3. The Jamie Hayter and Windsor's last finishing move: 2 birds, 1 stone. It's fine. It's cool. It's cool. And they won the match. Any thoughts on this basically squash?
No, I mean, we've talked about this before. It's great. It's a great opportunity for these people that, don't get any opportunity to come in and be in the ring. At the same time, like getting squashed doesn't really do a whole lot for your career. I mean, you get on TV, but it's like it doesn't show you in a very good light. And, listen, with as deep as the AEW roster is, there's a part of me that feels like you should never have a squash match on Dynamite. Your roster is big enough that every match on your A show should be a quality match. There's no reason to be having squash matches on Dynamite. If you want to do a squash match, I guess Collision would be the venue to do it. But even then, I mean, if you're trying to make Collision a better show, you don't want Collision to be the squash match show either. I mean, that's why the dark and and Dark Elevation and Elevation were so important, because you could have guys and women go there, get training. You could have them have the squash matches, those kinds of things, and it was okay. I just, it's great to show Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor, the Brawling Birds, strong and tough, especially because they're a big deal in the AEW Women's Tag Team division. But I just don't like squash matches on Dynamite.
I understand. More so for the women as well. We're just like,
Yeah,
it's
you
like a
got
cop
one
out.
segment, maybe 2 in a 2-hour show, and one of them's going to be a
Yeah.
squash match, like for 5 minutes. Like, come on, man. Like,
It's kind of a cop out. We're just like, they gave 2 matches. The first match was less than 3 minutes. Come on now,
yeah,
do better.
exactly. Do better.
But right after that, it's like, oh, like again, 2 birds, 1 stone. Let's do another women's segment and get this thing bowling. This is a women's, you said 5 minutes, so squash match, and here's a promo. Tekla and Sky Blue are in the back somewhere, and pardon my French, but I had to do it how Tekla does it, where like, people keep asking me, why do I keep calling these women dumb bitches? Because there's too many dumb bitches. And Sky Blue was like, Brawling Birds, it is your fault Persephone got attacked, not mine. Honestly, her getting sprayed is the best thing that happened to me. And Tekla was like, what happened? Jamie Hayter, Alex Windsor, what happened to you two? You used to be these 2 big bravado chicks, but you can't handle a little toxic spider? And then she's like, you know what? How about y'all just stay in your little tag thing? Because as of right now, you cannot handle me. You're not. It's just like, where did this chick come from, man? And so, like, very good segment. Sky Blue was good. Like short and sweet. It feels like they're teasing either her versus Persephone or Julia Hart versus Persephone. Either way, I guess. but Tekla, man, it's like, just let her beat someone. This is what I'm asking for. I'm asking for her to beat someone profound in an actual program that's actually on Dynamite, not on Collision. And the first week of Go Home, we're going to show a segment of her backstage before her match. That's what I want for Tekla, because she is so freaking good. Thoughts?
I mean, this is good. I mean, I thought this was fine. Tekla's in her bag. For some reason, it feels like as good as she is a wrestler, and even though they put the title on her, it feels like Tony Khan seems to think that her sweet spot is talking, maybe more than actually in the ring, because I feel like we see her talking way more than wrestling, which is fine. But it is what it is. I think she's extremely talented in both. I'd rather see her wrestle than talk. Not that her talking is terrible. I think the stuff with the dumb bitches or the is hysterical. This was solid, and I'm here for this. I don't have a problem with the Brawling Birds versus the Triangle of Madness in the vacuum. I don't have a problem with Tekla versus Jamie Hayter or even Julia versus Persephone or Tekla versus Persephone, assuming that Persephone is now kind of like an honorary member of the Brawling Birds. I just want they need to do something. Like we've had Tekla versus Hater. That's already been done. They just can't circle each other forever. Like they can't just be in a feud indefinitely. They either need to
Yeah.
do more and wrap it up or something. Because I feel like they've just kind of been circling each other for a while and some things have happened, but not really enough. It feels a little stagnant, in my opinion. So they just need to, I don't know, either ramp it up or do something to tie a bow on this feud and then have these guys move on or something. Me personally, and I understand that, AEW is a faction heavy company and, it's good to have friends and strength in numbers and all those things. I still am adamant about the fact that Sky Blue and Julia Hart are mid card and Tekla is the main eventer. And I think they hold her back a little bit. I think Tekla should be a single star on her own at this point now. And she should leave the Triangle of Madness behind, or the Sisters of Sin behind. But we'll see. That being said, it was fine. I mean, Tekla is a good promo, so this was fun.
Agreed. All right, and so next we have Okada with a television match, very much so interesting, going against Ace Austin. We're just like, oh, so we're bringing in someone new. I'm not mad at it. Let's rock out. And Ace Austin definitely rocked out. Ace Austin understood the assignment of, look, I'm usually on Collision. This is my first time on Dynamite. I'm gonna show up and show out and do all my best moves, which is definitely what he did. And Okada was just like, his role in this match was being surprised. Like the outside where what's his name? Austin actually does a one-handed stand, and Okada's like, whoa, wait. Hold on, wait a minute. I wasn't expecting that. But then, with his, he's a heel, so the slideness of him was just like, yeah, he did a lot of tricky stuff, but all I need is one little door open and bam, I'm about to hit you with it in the show. So, and that's basically what happened. A whole lot of near falls. This was a good match for Austin, but in the end, Rainmaker 1, 2, 3, Okada for the win. Your thoughts?
I'm a huge Ace Austin fan, so I thought this was great for him. Him getting to be on Dynamite, him in a solid match for a title against a superstar like Okada definitely raises his profile. I think he showed how good he is and what he can do. I definitely liked Okada's kind of reactions to Austin, which was, oh, I didn't expect a lot of this stuff from this guy. Like I was kind of maybe taking it for granted, and oh shit, there's a little bit more here than I was expecting. Okada's good at that. I didn't expect Ace Austin to get the win, but there was a part of me during the match that was hoping, mostly just because I hate Okada. But it is what it is. Okada gets the win and remains champion, but Ace Austin looked very, very good in defeat. I thought this was a very solid match, and I'm happy for Ace Austin to get this showcase.
Yeah. So after the match, what's his name? Dang it. Juice Robinson checks on Ace Austin. Mark Davis is out there. He's just jaw jacking and just being a terror. But then here comes Takeshita, just casually walking out the ring. And here comes Okada, not phased by Takeshita. And Takeshita just does the belt symbol, points to double or nothing. And Okada's just like, I'll be there, nigga. That's what it sounded like. I'm gonna beat her. We'll see what happens. Like both of them were unfazed, and I'm like you said earlier, I need someone to get riled up. Y'all both can't be unfazed at this trajectory of this feud. I need someone to get. Remember, like when it first happened, and Okada was just smiling at Takeshita and pissing them off. I need that energy back. Give me that energy back. I would love if they would flip it, where Takeshita is the cool, calm, collected one, and Okada's the one that's getting pissed off. But he's not pissed off enough for me. I need you to be more pissed off. Your thoughts on this aftermath?
No, this was fun. I mean, for what it was, I mean, it's fine. I mean, there's, AEW likes to do a lot, right? So they do a lot of stuff. I did notice though that and I wanted to mention this Collision, and just to harken back, that last episode of Collision that we reviewed previously from Saturday on the 20th was very interference light, very post-match light, which is rare for AEW. I feel like AEW does a lot of post-match stuff, and this is more kind of in their vein, a lot going on. But it's fine. It's fun for what it is. Okada and Takeshita, yes, it's going to be amazing when it goes down. But you're right. I do need one of them, and I think Okada's starting to pick it up a little bit. I need one of them to feel a little bit more fired up about the whole thing, as opposed to we'll do it because we both, people want us to do it. Like it's like, okay,
Right.
no, there needs to be. You guys have been fucking with each other, and Okada, especially with Takeshita, you both should be irritated enough with each other that there should be a little bit more on it. I understand you're cool, calm, and collective. Takeshita's too cool for everything, and I get that, and that kind of stoic, laid back attitude. At the same time, there's a time to ramp it up, and this is the idea. The impression that you're trying to give is that this is a real fight and people are angry and they want to go into this fight. So you need to have people have that kind of attitude about it, right? Otherwise, what's the point, right? Two indifferent people going into a fight doesn't do anything for me, right? So I need someone to be fired up. So
most definitely. All right, and so next up, we're back from commercial break, and no, before commercial break, we have a Western scene. Classic Magnificent Seven-esque setting, and usually this is a Bandito gig where most wanted people are taken out on the floor, but Bandito's not in this picture. It's Swerve picking up the bounty for Bandito. Okay. Did not see this coming when Swerve coming back. I don't hate it because Swerve was in Lucha Underground, so him versus Bandito will be a banger. I guess we're still going for the whole most dangerous man in AEW bit, which is fine. So, okay, that's fine. Your thoughts?
This is one of those things where I feel like I missed something. Like it needs to make it make sense. Like I'm not like I have a problem. In a vacuum, Bandito versus Swerve should be great. I just don't understand why. And Swerve is one of the top 5 wrestlers in AEW. Him wrestling Bandito for something that means nothing, and that's the feud, doesn't like, what are we doing with Swerve? Like, really? This is what we're doing with Swerve? But okay. I mean, the match itself should be fine. I mean, both guys can really wrestle, so should be fine. I'm just not sure why we're doing this and why this is a program that's been picked for Swerve. Like, but okay. I guess we'll see what ends up happening.
Exactly. All right, and then after that, we did follow up on the whole kidnapping, taking away of Ospreay from the Death Riders. So before Ospreay made the decision of either hit Moxley with a chair or come and train with them, he told the cameras to go away. So we never got that decision until now. I guess Ospreay has taken Moxley up on the decision, and he is in, I'm called the Death Riders dojo. And you go into the cameras and you see Marie Shafir doing some kind of hold on some poor soul, and Daniel Garcia makes introductions, and here comes Ospreay, and Moxley is tickled pink that he is here, so here's Ospreay, Moxley's tickled pink. But on the side is Pac, who does not forget anything and still has beef. And I love that. Yes, just because you want him to train Ospreay doesn't mean that I gotta be okay with it. And listen, I know Moxley's trying to be a big tough guy, but his sweet spot is being a funny crackhead emotionally, and him looking at Pac staring down Osprey, and he just tickles his stomach like, "Come on, like, wait, stop, because you know Pac is not gonna come on." So already, if we're just gonna get another match of Osprey versus Pac again, it's already worth it. This is already worth it of a storyline. It's already worth it. But yeah, so Moxley walks poetically about, we start from the mop. We're gonna start up here. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna work it back up. And so, and like Osprey's like, oh, okay. Like Osprey's like, I'm here. You see Osprey's mind of, I still got questions about this, but I'm here, so let's go. So he keeps it staring down with Pac. He moves past him. Please do that match. Yes, please. Like, even a television match, and and maybe earn Pac's respect. I like that little storyline. But so he's like, so where's the ring? Oh, we don't have a ring. We work from the ground up. Right now I'm into this storyline. I hope they just handle it with care. Like, no sidesteps, no missteps. This could be a very, very well storyline. I like your perception of this is Osprey's way of basically getting inside tips from Moxley, and maybe running that back and beating Moxley, maybe and taking the continental title from him. I don't mind that at all, even though I do think it's time for Osprey to be the world's championship. This could go a couple of ways, and I'm here for it. Your thought?
I'm really torn. I agree with Jimmy Macaram to a certain extent. Like, the concept that there's anything that Jon Moxley has to teach Will Ospreay about professional wrestling is a little bit of a stretch. I get it. He's his senior, he's his elder, he's been doing it for longer, so maybe it is what it is. But the idea that you're gonna break Will Ospreay down and then build him back, like, this is Will Ospreay. Like, he's probably the greatest wrestler on the planet when he's healthy and going good. Like, he doesn't really need all that. I did like the whole Pac still is, not ready to just be okay with it. I still don't know why Ospreay has chosen to do this. Like, there's no real explanation for why he chose to do this, and I kind of need something like that from him, because it feels very out of character for him to do this and to say yes, for on a number of reasons. One, because I don't think in his mind he thinks Moxley probably has anything to teach him. He doesn't need the Death Riders. He's been feuding with them forever. Like, the whole thing is kind of weird. So unless he's doing it with an ulterior motive, I'm not sure I understand. But and I needed some sort of explanation from him. But I mean, I'm willing to give it time to see how it plays out.
I wouldn't
Because
mind.
there's a lot of interesting holes, there's a lot of interesting parts to this, so it could play out in a good way. I'm just not sure that it will, but I'm here to see. Either it be successful or it to bomb, one or the other. I'm here for both.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Dang it. Slipped my freaking mind. There you go. I wouldn't mind if they do a segment like that, where either Renee Paquette or his or Alex was like, "Why are you with them? Why are you like, listen, I lost something a year ago. I was kind of directionless, so I do need to just focus. If nothing, just let me get my focus back on why am I in AEW. Like, that'd be really cool. All right, and so next up we have Adam Copeland and Roppongi Vice versus Roppongi Vice versus Christian Cage and Adam Copeland with FTR on the side. And this was fun. This is the first time that Cope and Christian are wrestling on television, which is, on one side I get it. I do get it. On the other side, it's like, really? Interesting. But either way, we have it, and it was a good time. We start off with Christian. Rocky Romero does a nice move, and he does his whole go, and then Copeland just like, get the behind over here, and him up. Going to the outside, Christian was in control, but one false move, he got rammed into the post, and Stokely is just like, yes, fade to heat here, and like some fans are rising up with some hoodies. Like what the freak who the freak are y'all? It's the conglomeration, OC, Roderick, and Rowley, and they start beating up FTR and hitting them to the back. I'm not mad at that. Like, oh, yeah, like we're not gonna say FTR was gonna get involved, but who's to say they weren't? So yes, let's just get the distraction out the way and get the match going on. And then all in all, Cope and Christian beats Roppongi Vice. Like I love Roppongi. I love Trent. And Rebecca Romero was good, but is Cope and Christian? Do y'all really think they were going to lose? That's just me. But what do you think about the match?
I'm a huge Trent Beretta fan, so I'm very disappointed that Trent and Rocky get fed to Christian and Cage. I get it. I mean, to Christian and Copeland. I understand that, Copeland and Cage need a big victory, and I guess Roppongi Vice is a big enough team, or RPG Vice as they're calling him, is a big enough team that it looks like a decent victory. They needed to do something. I just want more for Trent Beretta. Rocky Romero is fine. I mean, I like Rocky Romero. I think he's a very solid wrestler. I don't know. I mean, I'm indifferent on Rocky, but I love Trent Beretta. So I'm a little disappointed. I was excited at first when he went to the Callis family, thinking, oh, that'll be a nice thing for him. But basically, between injury and just too many guys, he's basically just kind of fallen into the background. And he's now he's one of the guys that just can take a pin for the Callis family when they have to lose, right? So which is, a little bit disappointing. That being said, the match itself was a lot of fun. Seeing Christian and Cage, or, Copeland and Cage wrestle together is fun. They're old, right? They're old. You can tell that they're old. They just don't. Christian less, but Edge just doesn't quite move like he used to. I thought the spot where was it Trent? Yeah, I think it was Trent got popped up, and then Christian hit him with the spear to finish the match. I thought that looked kind of cool. I don't know if that's something they're going to do. Like, I don't know if that's a new tag team move for the two of them, but that in that spot looked pretty cool. So I mean, I'm here for it. It's fine. I mean, I just want more for Trent Beretta. But beyond that, I thought this was fine. Christian and Copeland needed the win, and they looked good doing it. Taking care, putting the metal piece from the chair in Trent Beretta's face.
I'm getting there.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
So post match, Christian slides out of the ring, and he finds a chair, and he takes the bottom leg out of it and gives it to Christian. I'm sorry, and gives it to Adam Copeland, because this was his 2023 bag of basically passing people out with the chair in their mouth. So Christian gets the mic and say, "Well, how about it, Trent? Do you quit?" And you can say a quit or a quit. And so he's like, "I wouldn't say. I would never say the little." I'm like, "Sir, why are we being a terrorist?" And then I guess someone said, "Hey, we didn't hear it because the freaking thing was in his mouth. Let's do it again." And so I'm like, "No, we don't have to do it again. We heard him say I quit. Let it go." So yeah, so that happened. That was funny. So FTR left, but the belts are still there. Christian tries to take the belts. I'm like, "No, you can't take the freaking belts, you you emotional crackhead." But for some reason, Adam Copeland gets the bucket of popcorn that the conglomeration were eating, put on top of his head, and then starts marching around with the title. I'm not sure what that was about, but this I get you know what? Let them rock out. We're getting Edge and Christian to 2021 in this scenario, and I'm not mad at it. So go ahead, go rock out with your crazy selves. Your thoughts on this post match?
I mean, I thought it was fun. I mean, again, I'm a huge Trent Beretta fan, so having him take the kind of the brunt of the beat up at the end was a little disappointing. Having to hear him say "I quit" twice is fine. It was a little disappointing, but Edge and Christian are fun, and I'm not sure what Edge is doing, but he's enjoying himself. He's living his best life, I guess, at the moment.
Yeah.
So he appears to be very happy at the moment. So good for him. So it's all good.
Yeah. It is all good. Like I said, it does like they're enjoying themselves, and I am not mad at it. I'm not. All
Which
right,
was
so next
perfect when we consider what the next two segments are. So
up, so next up, we have we have an interview with Jericho where they is like, so how do you feel about your loss on Collision and how what's his name? Pretty Ricky says that he now has the best moonsault lion moonsault ever. It's called, I'm not sure what he renamed it. I think it's like, if you know, please tell me what he renamed it. It was dumb, and they're probably not gonna keep it, but whatever. But then but Jericho's like, listen, uh, imitation is the best form of flattery. So
Rico salt, the Rico salt.
the Rico salt.
Yeah, Ricochet salt, Rico salt. So
I'm going to let you. It could work, but in other words, it couldn't. But then he gets jumped by the Demand. They come beat him up, and so and Ricky is this, and Ricky was about to do the moonsault and says, "You're not worth it." He's pointing at Jericho and roughing him up, and it's just like, why are we still here? You beat him twice, so why are we still here? Like, any thoughts on this Jericho beatdown? Are we going to get another Pretty Ricky versus Jericho match? Is the Hurt City going to come back and try and get another win? What do you think?
I think it's all terrible. I think it's all terrible. I feel bad for Ricochet, like you said. I guess it's maybe his punishment for some of the things he said off, on social media or whatever, or done, I guess. But I mean, he had a title not too long ago. The Demand looked like they were prepped to be a super big deal, and now they're stuck in the Jericho vortex to a certain extent. And I just don't. I mean, I've made it clear on here many, many times that I don't like Chris Jericho, and he's way long past the tooth of his career. I didn't like him when he was in his prime and good. I really don't like him now. And I don't even know what we're doing. Like, I thought we were done with this, and I guess we're still here. So this was an F segment of the show for me, grade wise.
I cannot argue with you. I'll just say that. And so next up, we have our another women's match, which is actually a full match, not a squash match. We have Divine Dominion of Megan Bain and chick from Australia. What's her
Lena
name?
Cross.
Who?
Lena Cross.
Lena Cross versus Statlander and Sheeta. Now, not sure what happened. Not sure what
This
happened.
is so dumb.
This first
This was
half,
so
this first half was rough. It really was. It felt like maybe Megan Bain had a cramp in her. Megan and what's her name? What's her friend's
Lena.
name?
Lena
Maybe
Cross.
Megan and Lena was doing some lifts and got a cramp. Like, but like every time I try to lift Sheeta, look, it should just fail. So I'm like, what is going on? I know y'all supposed to. I've seen you lift Willow, so this should not be a problem for you to lift Sheeta. I'm not sure if Sheeta was trying to get out of it or something. Maybe that was going on. But yeah, it was very much so tough. Thankfully, we had a Statlander in the building, and as soon as Sheeta kicked Statlander in the stomach and suplexed her onto Lena, and everyone seemed to love that. But that's when the match got better. Where Statlander was in there and she repped the house. She was just like, all right, I'm here. I got it. Let me straighten it out. And she definitely did. Her 450 splash is still so freaking great. But all in all, unfortunately, the champions retained. I definitely agree. Like I'm not sure what happened that first half, but as soon as Statlander came in, everything ran smoothly. Even Sheeta ran smoothly. So I'm not sure what. Maybe it was just a matter of not being used to each other. But definitely that first match was rough. That first part of the match was rough, but it came along at the end. Your thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts are very similar to yours. I mean, I didn't quite pick up on the end of it as being a whole lot better. I mean, yes, Statlander came in and did a better job, but yeah, Megan Bayne looked terrible several times. I don't know what her problem was as far as finishing moves. There were definitely several botches. The whole Sheeta kicking Statlander, then suplexing her, German suplexing her on the whole thing is weird. Like I didn't like it. And Statlander not being more bothered by it. Like Statlander just kind of being like, yeah, that sucked, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go outside the ring and just let you do what you. And then later when Statlander had one of them in the
All right.
corner. And Sheeta took the blind tag and came in, and Statlander like looked at her crazy, but just stepped out. Like, no, Statlander needs to push her back. Why are you just gonna let Sheeta kick you in the stomach and do nothing? Like, I don't understand why you just let Sheeta get away with that stuff. So first of all, that's bad. And secondly, I just thought the match itself didn't come off very good. Yeah, I guess the ending was a little bit better once Statlander got in the ring, but overall, it didn't come off very good at all. And I thought this was a down segment. I thought these last two were both. I mean, Jericho's segment was probably an F. I mean, I'll give this a D just because Stat was a little bit better, but the segment itself I thought was terrible. The match itself was really bad. I mean, Megan Bayne looked terrible throughout the whole thing. I thought Lena Cross looked a little bit better, and I don't understand what's going on with Stat and Sheeta. That connection is very weird to me, and why Stat just lets her get away with stuff. That doesn't make any sense to me. So
Understandable. All right, but we got past those two segments, and this was my segment of the night. So here's again, MJF crashing, MJF crashing out because he lost the title. We were going to get a Andrade Don Callis interview, but MJF crashes it and says, "Look, I'm sure why you're here is because your boy, I'm not AEW champion anymore." And so Andrade takes off his glasses and says, "I have a question though. How you know?" Because MJF's like, because Darby beat me. How you know?
how you
Because
know?
he's holding around my title.
How you know?
That's how you know.
I wanted to punch Andrade. I was pissed at the moment. Like, really?
It's the best gaslighting of a person who deserves to be gaslighted in a minute. And so you can see Don Callis trying to smooth things over, and he's like, "Listen. We're both all better if MJF." Because it gets into a shoving contest. Like, we're all better if MJF is champion and as soon as MJF leaves. But don't worry, we're going to take the title. It's like, sir, I need you to pick a side. So this has to happen. MJF versus Andrade. Not sure when it happens, but it has to happen because it is so like this was patented Andrade in 2003 when he was going up against Darby. Why he was so crazy? Take it easy. So it's like, yeah, I'm not sure how this is going. I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but this needs to happen. Maybe in the tournament, we call it the Owen Hart tournament. Do it there, but I need this match. I need this match now. Your thoughts on this?
I thought this was very good. I thought this was funny. Andrade basically trolling MJF in person, essentially, just like, how you know? How you know? How you know I wanted to punch Andrade. I mean, he was accomplishing his mission, right? Like, he was under my skin, let alone under MJF's skin. The concept of Don Callis, and I get, he's trying to placate MJF, the idea that, AEW is better with MJF having the title. I don't know if I believe that or not. I don't think Don actually believes that, but just a statement that kind of left me a little But yeah, I mean, I thought this was funny, and I'm here for this. Andrade versus MJF. The language barrier, but Andrade still being funny is great. So, I'm here for it. And I thought this was great.
Yeah, like, this definitely needs to happen. All right, next we have a Rouge match against, we don't know your name. It's a squash. You get your behind. You get the Bulls. You ran with the Bulls. You got the horn. 1, 2, 3, and then after the match, same difference. Rouge says his catchphrase. You mess with the bull. Everyone says it. You get the horns. So again, just like Collision, what are we doing with Roosh? We're definitely hyping him up for something. This is his second, maybe third win in a row. And not saying that I need to know. I'll say this. I think it's time to move to a higher up competitor for Roosh. Yeah, I think it's definitely time for that, where he actually has a program with someone and let him rock out. Your thoughts?
This is Dynamite, right?
Yeah.
This is Dynamite, right? So we've had 2 squashes, we've had a Jericho terrible segment, and we had a bad match between the women's tag team champions. This is Dynamite, right? This is your age show, right? This is like your premiere 2 hours of the week, right? So that being said, you can tell what I thought about this. I mean, seeing Roosh is fine. I love Roosh. I get it. Why are we having squash matches on Dynamite with Roosh when there's really no indication of why we're hyping him up? Either give us an indication of why we're hyping him up, what the purpose of doing what's going to happen, and secondly, don't do squash matches on Dynamite. You have enough of a roster that Roosh can have a match with a solid guy, an Ace Austin or Juice Robinson or any of these other guys that are there, and still come out with a win and look good and potentially look even better. There's nothing impressive to me about a guy like Roosh, who is 15 levels above the guy you've never even heard of, coming in and running right through him. That's not impressive to me. That squash doesn't do anything for me to hype Roosh up. Roosh beating an Ace Austin, a Juice Robinson, one of these other guys, an Orange Cassidy, a Roger, that has more juice to me. Someone that can actually wrestle. Let Roosh run through someone that can actually wrestle, or have a good match with someone that can actually wrestle, and show what Roosh can really do. And that to me is better than this, and this should never be done on Dynamite, in my opinion. So, is what it is. This was a very down Dynamite for me, as you can tell.
No, but like we're gonna get better, because here comes the backstage segment with the Ops, and we have Samoa Joe with this interesting choice of clothes. I've never seen Samoa Joe wear anything like this. Like, no offense, I have never seen Samoa Joe wear a light blue, yellow shirt, light blue pants, light blue jacket combo. I was more so like that, baby. No. It's usually suits or wrestling gear. Don't do this no more. Don't do this no more. I'm sorry. I don't know who this Joe is, but I don't rock with him. Either way, so he walks poetically about each one of the op members. Walks poetically about Shibata. Walks poetically about Anthony Bowens. Walks poetically about Hook. Keeps pushing him as the future. You love Taz, don't you? You Taz is your boy. But then he addresses Ospreay. Like, Ospreay, it seems like you're a little bit out of sorts hanging with the Death Riders when we were the ones who had your back a year later. But you know what? It's never too late to come over here and join our and join our group to become better. Huh. Did not see that coming. Two teams are fighting for the inclusion of Ospreay. I was cool with seeing how Moxley and Ospreay was gonna go. I'm not exactly sure about Samoa Joe and Ospreay. If Samoa Joe and Ospreay was just Samoa Joe and Shibata by himself trying to recruit Ospreay, yes. Death Riders go to Samoa Joe and Ospreay, but it's Hook is in the group. Hook is in the group. I'm sorry. So if I have a vote, say with Moxley. Do you have a vote? And what do you think about this backstage segment?
I mean, Samoa Joe is my guy, so like I always want everyone to choose Samoa Joe, and I think Samoa Joe with Osprey and Shibata is great. But I do agree, Hook is not one of these things is not like the other, unfortunately, and Hook is a little out of sorts in the ops at this point. I think they probably need to revisit that and have a discussion about whether that still has traction or not. And I know you just brought Bowens in, but Bowens standing there in a puffy jacket with a necklace and the hat backwards, trying to look urban, I assume is what he's trying to look. It doesn't work. That I feel like that's not Bowens, right? Like it looked like he was trying to be someone that he's not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is him. Maybe I mean I don't know the guy outside of wrestling. Maybe that is who he is. For the persona he's given in wrestling, that's not the persona that I expect from Anthony Bowens. So I feel like they're already trying to turn him, make him look more street to match the ops, which I'm not a big fan of. So I thought he looked a little out of place just in the outfit he had on. I liked Joe's jacket and shoes, but you're right. I mean, that's not a normal Joe outfit. The yellow polo I thought was a little odd for Joe, but the jacket was dope though. I like the jacket and the shoes; they match. But the promo itself, altogether, I thought it was fine for what it is. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because you have Joe and Shibata who feel like Joe is A plus plus. Shibata has proven he's, A, sometimes A plus. And then you have Bowens and Hook. And it's like, I don't know. Bowens in the ring is probably when he's going good, a B minus wrestler. He could be a high B wrestler. He's not an A wrestler. He's not an A guy on the microphone. And Hook hasn't proven to be anything anyway, in my opinion. One way, I mean, I can't even really give the guy a grade yet because I feel like it's undeveloped to a certain extent. I mean, if I was going to give him a grade, no one would like the grade I gave him at the moment. So, so it is what it is. So yeah, I mean, I feel like that faction to Osprey joining that faction would give it a lot more kind of oomph. But at the same time, it does feel weird because you're going to train with Bowens and whatchamacallit, which doesn't feel quite right, right? Like, okay. But yeah, I mean, we'll see.
But, yeah. All right. So we're doing back to back segments where now we have FTR in the back with Stokely. And they have a proposition for Collision. It would be them versus the conglomeration in this double jeopardy. If conglomeration wins, they get a shot at the tag team titles. But when FTR wins, they get a shot at the trios titles. And you think, and I know you're thinking, there's only two of us. Well, we have that in tow. And here comes Ciampa. It's like, oh. Okay, let's go. And so Ciampa waxed publicly about what he has done for the past couple of weeks. He's like, every time we're together, it's a win. I put Mark Briscoe on the shelf. You didn't have to say that, cause I do miss Mark Briscoe. And if he comes back, that'd be so nice. But he's like, so to be very forward with it, we're taking those trios titles. And then the psycho killer that he is, he gets a piece of popcorn from Stokely Beer and eats it. And it says, top guys out. That's why you're a psycho killer. Because, we don't know how long. We don't know. I'm not going to say Stokely's beard is dirty. He looks very much so clean. But even so, you don't know. You don't know what's in someone's hair. So, L to that. But like I said, that's why he's called the Psycho Killer. Any thoughts about this and the stipulation on Collision about whoever wins has to put the titles on the line next time? I'm not mad at it.
I mean, my concern is that you stretch guys too thin and you don't give enough heed to one or the other, right? So right now you technically have FTR in the middle of two feuds, right? They're feuding with Christian and Cope and they're feuding with the conglomeration, right? So it's kind of weird that their attention's pulled in both directions. And so neither team gets neither storyline gets their full energy. That being said, I mean, the match itself should be fun. FTR with Ciampa, definitely, I mean, that's fun. I think that's fun. Yeah, Ciampa's a disgusting guy. Like that was really gross. Like it wasn't even like that's disgusting. Like I don't care how clean Stokely is. Like that's gross. Yeah. enough of that. I don't ever need to see that again on TV screen. But I guess it just shows you how crazy Tommaso Ciampa is. So, and I'm here for crazy Tommaso Ciampa. I just don't know that I ever need to see that again.
Like even Stokely was like, "Sir, okay, we're together, but please don't do it no more." All
I'll
right,
be honest with you. Until you said popcorn, when I saw it, it didn't dawn on me. Oh, the popcorn from earlier in the show, and I was like,
yeah,
just pick from his beard and eat. Wasn't totally sure until then you said popcorn. I was like, okay, that's right. It was popcorn, really. But I was going to say on here, like, what did he pick out of his beard and what did he eat? Because that was really gross. Because I didn't realize it was popcorn until you said that. So, yeah.
yeah. All right, now it's time for the main event of Brody King versus Darby in a street fight, no DQ, same difference for the AW World Championship, and this was just balls to the walls. Darby tries to hurt Brody, and he gets shut down until he does something super crazy. Couple of moves, and I'm just gonna say, like I said, just like with this match, we're just gonna say out moves. Red eye from the top rope, crate. Darby has the best tope suicida at me. I will fight anyone that says otherwise. He tries to tope suicida, but Brody didn't even do a lot. He just bounced off of Brody's shoulder. Like he literally ran into a brick wall. And it's just like, oh, I'm pretty sure you tried it before, so why don't you try it again? And then Brody does his patented crossbody. Yeah, sit Darby in a chair with a crossbody. At one point in time, it was Brody did it. Yeah, Brody did a power bomb to Darby through the announce table. Okay, and then one of the I think the table came out, but it didn't break. So it's like we knew when Darby was champion, and he said every week. I'm like, sir, you don't have to go this balls to the. This is his second match, and it's just like you're doing the most on these TV matches. Can you please just settle down? We do want you here. We want you to be popping pills because you're doing crazy stuff every freaking week. But suffice to say, Darby for the win. I know I missed some spots, but you could if you remember them, you tell me. What do you think about the freaking match?
I'm so torn because, the match itself is a ton of fun, right? I mean, Darby
Yeah.
Allin is fun to watch. Brody King is fun to watch. I'm going to say a couple things. This is not Rey Mysterio versus The Big Show. And it's not, for those of us from the 80s, it's not King Kong Bundy versus a midget. I understand that. There's still something to be said about the fact that you're trying to present a fictitious version of a real fight. And I understand Darby Allin is the kind of guy that never quits. In real life, Brody King would simply break Darby Allin in half. And the fact that Darby Allin kicked out of two clotheslines that would end anybody else in professional wrestling, and the other stuff that Brody King did to him, just for me doesn't sit right. I just don't like that. Brody King is a monster, not a loser. And now he's lost twice in the last month for the world championship, and once to Darby Allin and 3 times to Darby Allin. They've wrestled 5 times and Darby's up 3-2 over Brody King. Brody King is a monster. There's no way that should happen. And I understand every once in a while Darby Allin can be the underdog that gets a move in at the last minute, a counter, and gets a fluke win. But you can't sustaining that week after week. It just doesn't work for me as a storyline. That fluke win week after week just doesn't happen. You can't consistently be lucky like that. Like, it just doesn't work. And I'm not a big fan of the idea of your world champion just getting the shit kicked out of him for 40 minutes or 30 minutes and then has two moves and gets the win. I don't like that. Like, and yes, Darby had offense during the match. I get that. He had some offense during the match, but it's not enough. Like, not for your world champion. I just don't. And I want more for Brody King. Yeah, he's had 2 title shots, but he's lost them both. And I don't know. I mean, for me, the Tope Suicida, where Darby flies at him and just bounces off him. That is exactly how that match should have gone the whole time. There's no place for Darby to really ever have the upper hand. And then when they started pulling the mat back, it's like, okay, now I see what's going to happen. He's going to put him on the concrete, and that's how he's going to get the win, which is ultimately what ended up happening. And it's like they know that Darby can't just beat Brody King on his own, so he has to do something out of the blue and put him on the cement to get the win. It's like your world champion shouldn't have to do that. He should be enough. And I mean, he's your in theory the best wrestler in your company. He's the pinnacle of your company at the moment, and he needs the concrete to help him beat Brody King. It's like not that Brody King shouldn't need help being beat by Darby Allin. He should. Darby Allin shouldn't be beating Brody King, but. So it's fine. I mean, it is what it is. I want more for Brody King. I don't necessarily like Darby's persona as the champion, or at least the way they present him. The match was fun. I thought it had some great spots. All the 3 different times that he did the cannonball, the one he missed and went through the guardrail was great. The code red off the top rope was great. The code red on the announce table was great. There was a lot of good stuff. I just don't like that presentation of Darby, and I don't like Brody King losing twice for the title in 1 month. I think Brody is good enough that he should be getting a win at some point here for that title, and 2 losses is brutal. So, and I don't think he should be down in a contest, in a set of matches to Darby Allin. I mean, I just 3-2 to Darby Allin in 5 matches. Just okay, that's fine. So clearly, Tony Khan feels there's more legs with Darby Allin than there is with Brody King, which is fine. I just don't agree.
Hater. But no, I do agree with you about Brody King losing twice in a month. It's a catch-22. So an educated guess for me is I don't think that Darby is going to have a long title reign. I think the story they're doing is that because he's doing it every week, once he gets to the pay-per-view, he'll body give out, and that's why he lost, which is a fine storyline, right? And so the question is, I'm pretty sure when they asked Darby, well, the short title reign, who you want to fight? I'm pretty sure Brody was the top of the list. So it's like, yes, thank you for the opportunity, but how do we keep Brody strong? And I think they did a good job. You just stated like it took the concrete, it took a power bomb, it took him missing the power bomb, going through the guardrail, and then getting power bombed through the concrete, a couple of death drops to win. So it wasn't like, oh, I beat you with the os cutter and it was 1, 2, 3. No, I had to do a lot to get your big behind down. I don't know what happens to Brody. I do want more for Brody. I do agree with you on that one. I'll say I'm not sure because I was like Kevin Knight's the champ, the TNT champ, so can't have that. And even though Moxley's the Continental champ, he's not really facing anybody right now. So it is like, boo. But I agree with you. I do want more for Darby. I do want more for Brody, and hopefully they can figure out what that more is, because this is actually 3 losses in a row. Because he lost to Swerve, and then he lost to MJF. He lost to Swerve, and then now, so it's like, yeah, we got to figure out what's next for Brody, because he is one of our top people for me, and we want more for him. So that was the end of Dynamite. I like the beginning. I like the end. The middle was cool. What middle coolness was Cope and Christian match. Their interactions. I enjoyed Moxley and Ospreay in the dojo. The women's match did leave a lot to be desired, unfortunately, and there's a lot of things that just left you with, huh? Yeah, yeah, it was a lot of things that just left me with the spirit of how did that happen? Oh, side note, next week will be Kevin Knight versus Darby. Kevin Knight was watching in the audience. Again, don't want to be like, oh, it's guaranteed, but it is 95% sure that Kevin Knight's not beating Darby. That's just me. So the grade for Dynamite, I give it a B2. Yeah, a B. A solid B2 for me, because like, even though the women's match sucked, it wasn't because, like, that was just because they didn't have any chemistry. It wasn't like it wasn't like we didn't promote it well. No, like, that should have been a good match, but unfortunately, just that first part was just rough. So I'm gonna give it a solid B. You?
So you gave both Collision and Dynamite the same grade, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Okay. Before I give my grade, Fearfully Confident says Brody turning on Bandito for the ROH title would be fun. And that's fine. The only problem I have with that is just nobody cares about Ring of Honor. And that's going to end up behind the paywall if that's the feud, and we won't get to see it. They won't put that front and center on Dynamite, unfortunately. If they would, that would be fine. But I don't think they would do that. So, and I don't want to see Brody disappear behind the paywall again. That I don't
No.
want to see. So, let's see. So Dynamite. Listen, Dynamite is supposed to be your A show. It is the show where you give the most effort. It's supposed to be your premier show. So I give it a little bit more. I put a little bit more on it than I do Collision. For that, and because we had a terrible match for the women, we had a Jericho segment, we had 2 squash matches. I'm giving this Dynamite a C because it's a little below Collision. Even though Collision wasn't a great show, Dynamite is supposed to be better. And it wasn't significant. It wasn't better, in my opinion. It was probably on par. And because it's supposed to be better and it's your main show, I'm giving it a little bit of a grade down. Because if it's the same show and Collision is not, like, you got to be better with Dynamite. So I'm going B minus for Dynamite, or for Collision, and a C for Dynamite. So
Understandable.
I guess Collision gets technically the win since you graded them both the same, and I got Collision a little higher. So this week, Collision does get backs into a win, I guess, to a certain extent. I wasn't overly impressed with Collision either, but it is what it is. I was just down on Dynamite for the most part. I thought the opening match, MJF and Kevin Knight, was great. And even though I'm not a big fan of the presentation of Darby as the way they're presenting him as world champion, I did think that match was a solid main event. And I'm happy to see both of those guys in the main event because I think it's a little bit different than the guys you normally see. So I'm happy to see that. But but other than that, I thought the rest of the show was very, very mediocre. So Collision gets the win this week. Collision by a hair gets win. AEW Collision for the win. All right. We have held you guys hostage for 3 hours almost. So we'll do a little bit of house cleaning and then we'll get up out of here real quick. We'll run through the house cleaning real quick. Join us on Tuesday nights for the cookout, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, where we all come together and talk about what's cooking up in the world of professional wrestling. Come for the wrestling and stay for the chaos. Join us on Friday nights, where Nika and sometimes Sammy Joe watch Friday night fights, or they watch SmackDown in real time, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern when the show starts, giving you their real-time reactions and opinions to the show as it happens. Winner's Circle on Saturday mornings, which you're here with us for, either Saturday mornings or Sunday evenings. It will take place over the weekend, where we review AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision from the week before and give each show a grade and declare a winner. This week, Collision did get the win by a hair. So congratulations to Collision, as Dynamite usually does get the win, as it should. It is supposed to be the A show. These are our social media platforms. We're on all these social media platforms. Come check us out. Interact with us on those platforms. We love to hear from you. If you scan this little horsey QR code, that'll take you to Linktree, and from Linktree, you can get to all of our social media from one location. So come and check us out and interact with us. We love to interact with you guys. Last but not least, if you want to listen to the audio version of the Cookout podcast, you can catch that on these podcast platforms. That way you don't have to sit and watch it. Our wonderful producer, Dolores, who does all of our graphics, our intros and outros, she downloads the audio version and uploads it to these podcast platforms. So you can check out the audio version of the Cookout while you're doing your chores, driving around in your car, doing whatever it is you want to do, whatever it is you need to do, and letting our golden vocal cords accompany you and keep you happy. So, unless there's anything else, we'll cut out those lights, as Dolores likes to say. And until next time, peace.
Bye.
That's the bell, that's the call. Winner circle standing tall. LW, Sammy, and Nika break it down. After it all.